presents our 20th year of coverage of NCAA college football. One of the great rivalries through the years has been Pitt and Penn State. In 1976, Tony Dorsett of Pittsburgh rushed for 224 yards as the Panthers won 24-7. Dorsett won the Heisman that season. Pitt won the national championship. Today, Pittsburgh, ranked 5th in the country, takes on Penn State, ranked 2nd. Dan Marino, the Pittsburgh quarterback, a senior, number 13, guiding the Panthers to a 9-1 record this season. He's thrown for better than 2,000 yards. Todd Blackledge, the junior, leads Penn State. He threw 12 touchdown passes in his first 3 games. He's thrown 21 for the season as he's guided the Nittany Lions to a 9-1 record. Pitt and Penn State from State College, Pennsylvania. The day after Thanksgiving is the traditional opener of the Christmas shopping season, and stores around the country will do a booming business today. But here in the Nittany Valley in north central Pennsylvania, the stores and offices may be open, but they'll do very little business at all. In fact, most of the people in this valley are right here. As you take a look at Beaver Stadium, capacity 83,000. Every seat has been sold. The great traditional matchup coming up between the Pitt Panthers and the Penn State Nittany Lions. Hello again, everyone. I'm Al Michaels, and in any given year, this is a big game, obviously, in this state. It's for the bragging rights of Pennsylvania. But it has particular significance this year because a national championship is perhaps at stake. Penn State has had marvelous success over the recent years, in particular under Joe Paterno. But despite being in the top 10 seemingly every season, Penn State has yet to win a national championship. This year, they can really control their own destiny in the sense that if they can knock off Pitt today, they will probably go into the Sugar Bowl ranked no worse than 2nd, and they'll meet Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. You'll see that on ABC New Year's night. There are the rankings. Both AP and UPI are similar. Georgia on top, Penn State 2nd. Nebraska plays Oklahoma today. Winner goes to the Orange Bowl. The Cornhuskers are 3rd. SMU is unbeaten, tied last week by Arkansas. They are 4th. Pittsburgh is 5th, a mark of 9-1 for the Panthers. And New Year's Day in the Cotton Bowl at Dallas, it will be SMU against Pittsburgh. So the Panthers still have an outside shot at a national championship. This has been a great series over the years. It started back in 1893, and as you can see, they have been evenly matched, with Penn State holding the edge. Last year, Pitt went in unbeaten, led 14-0, and Penn State knocked them out of a possible national championship as the Nittany Lions won it by a score of 48-14. Now, we're going to take a look at 2 very potent offenses today. We could have a lot of points up on the board at the end of the afternoon. And right now, let's take a look at some of the individual standouts we'll see in action at State College this afternoon. Dan Marino is the Pittsburgh quarterback. He's thrown for 2,058 yards this season, and he has some receivers that can really cause problems. On the left, you've got Dwight Collins, number 32. On the right, Julius Dawkins, number 80. Now, Dawkins has caught 28 passes this season. He's a man who is not afraid of getting into traffic, as is the case here. Double team, still able to come down with a pass for a touchdown. And you can't concern yourself with Dawkins to the extent that you leave that man open. That's Collins, who has caught 41 passes this season. Now, the top running back is Brian Thomas, and interestingly enough, Thomas is also the leading receiver. He's caught 42 of Marino's throws this season. On the ground, he's carried for 743 yards. He could be a key factor in today's game, and Marino assesses today's game this way.
What I think we're going to have to do offensively is probably control the football, because of the type of offense that they have. Penn State, they have a very explosive offense, and I think if we can control the football by throwing our short passing game and running the ball well, I think we'll be able to keep them off the field, and we're going to have long, sustained drives to do that. And if we score a couple touchdowns and by keeping them off the field, I think we'll be able to control the football game. I think last year what we did not accomplish was the fact that we were able to move the ball pretty well, but we had a lot of penalties and turnovers and fumbles and a lot of mental mistakes. And I think if we can stay away from that this year, we'll be able to win the football game. But I think it's going to come down to just a matter of execution and who makes the less mistakes, and that's who's going to win the football game today.
The Penn State offense is very similar to the Pitt offense. And quarterback back, you've got Todd Blackledge. His two prime receivers on the left, number 19, Greg Garrity, and on the right is number 82, Kenny Jackson. Jackson is the big play man. If you'll think back a year ago, he had a sensational game against Pittsburgh at Pitt, and the Panthers were knocked out of national championship contention. He's caught 6 touchdown passes this season, and on this next play, as Blackledge goes to Garrity, watch Blackledge keeping his feet in motion, scanning the field, and firing over the middle, and finding number 19, Garrity's caught 3 touchdown passes this season. Their top running back is Kurt Warner, who will close out his career in State College today. The senior, typical here of the way he'll move as he moves along the line, finds the hole, and then he has the speed to accelerate and turn it into a long gainer. Warner needs only 77 yards today to reach the 1,000-yard mark. It'll be the second consecutive year for Kurt in 4 figures. Well, both teams have very potent offenses. They also have very good defenses. In particular, as far as the Pitt Panthers are concerned, they have been very, very stingy, as was the case last year. They returned most of the starters. As you can see, they're yielding only 232 yards per game. They're second in the nation to only Arizona State. Penn State yielding 361 per game. But when the Nittany Lions have needed the big play on defense this season, for the most part, they have gotten it. If there's a big difference between these two teams, perhaps the biggest disparity would be in coaching experience. Penn State has the legendary Joe Paterno in his 17th season. Meanwhile, at Pitt, you've got Foch Fazio in his first year at the helm. And here's the way those two men assess today's game.
Well, number one, naturally, this is a big rivalry. It has been for the last 10 years. We've been playing for a long time, and both of us being from Pennsylvania, and a lot of our ball players know their ball players, and a lot of bragging rights, of course, that are at stake. This year, probably the significance is more of a national thing because we're both in the top 5. We both have major bowl games to be played on January 1, and the winner of this game might have an opportunity to go and win all the marbles. So that is very, very important to both football teams. As far as the Panthers are concerned, we have to play a perfect football game. We can't panic. We have to be in the right spots defensively. We can't give up the big football play. And offensively, we got to control the ball and move it and get some points on the board, of course.
You've come so close in the past, yet it's been elusive. How important is winning the national championship to you and to the people of this school?
Well, I think it's more important to the people of the school and to the players. I think, as far as I'm concerned, I hope I'm going to be coaching enough years that sooner or later I'll fall into it. Maybe if it doesn't happen this year, maybe we'll have another year. So I've tried never to focus in on it's got to happen now. But when you have a bunch of kids, especially our seniors, who have worked so hard and have had a national championship in the back of their minds ever since they came here, to come so close, is a disturbing and a frustrating experience for them, as I'm sure it is for the Pitt kids. The Pitt kids have been, 4 straight years, only lost 1 football game and haven't been able to swing it. So I think both squads are fighting a little bit of a frustration today.
The thoughts of Fazio and of Paterno as their two teams close out the regular season. It's overcast, temperature 40 degrees in State College, Pitt and Penn State, and we'll be right back at Beaver Stadium after this.
Fireman's Fund always reminds you, look for the sign of the independent insurance agent. We do it with cheering sections and puzzles and fireworks, even a marching band. But no matter how we show it, look for it. Because for someone who works for you, who gets the best policy and price, you'll never find a better place to hang your hat. In the Yellow Pages, Fireman's Fund Insurance Companies.
Back at Beaver Stadium, State College, Pennsylvania, home of Penn State University. Here come the visiting Pitt Panthers. In the preseason rankings, a lot of folks thought they would be number 1. They come in number 5. Their only loss this season at Pitt Stadium to Notre Dame. 9 wins, 1 loss, Cotton Bowl bound. And Joe Paterno right there. Here come the Nittany Lions. Listen to the roar. Penn State, number 2, behind only Georgia. Sugar Bowl bound. They'll meet the Bulldogs there on New Year's night. Joe Paterno in his 17th season. Looking for his 10th win of the year today. Al Michaels joined now by Lee Groscup. We've done a lot of great rivalries over the years, but this one is something special, Tupper.
Well, you know, I think everybody has their favorite rivalry on a regional basis. You and I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, so we think about Cal-Stanford. But in terms of national scope, this might be the consummate college football rivalry. It has history, it has geography, and as you pointed out, possibly a stepping stone to a national championship.
Now, as a former All-American quarterback who loved to throw the bomb at Utah, as you did in the 1950s, you have to love the 2 men who guide these teams today.
I think it's the best quarterback matchup in the history of the series. You talk about Dan Marino, and you look at his numbers, and you have to think, well, right off the bat, this is the most prolific offensive player in Panther history, even including the great Tony Dorsett. He has the size you like. He can throw all types of passes. He can touch it. He can drill it. He has had a tendency to force the ball at times, which has led to a high number of interceptions. But since he has taken over in his freshman year, his team has been 29-3, so you know that he knows how to win football games for you.
No slouch as far as Penn State is concerned at the quarterback position either.
Of course, Todd Blackledge, according to Joe Paterno, is the finest quarterback in Nittany Lion history. And he at one time, I think, had an elongated release. He has tightened that release up now. He has the quick feet. He, too, has the size you like, throws all types of passes. And I'll tell you what, he is maybe the smartest quarterback the Lions have ever had. He is a Phi Beta Kappa, so I don't think we need to worry about him blowing any audibles today.
Basically, what does each team have to do today?
I think, to put it very simply, what you're thinking about balance, and you're thinking about multiplicity. You're talking about balance for the offensive units and multiplicity for the defensive units, because the quarterbacks are too good, and you can't just stick with one defensive scheme. I think they're going to have to mix it up, do everything they can to confuse a couple of top-rate quarterbacks.
Penn State, slight favorite. Supremacy in the East, no doubt at stake, but a lot more than that. Coming up at hand, the kickoff. Pitt and Penn State from State College, PA. We'll be right back.
NCAA college football brought to you by the dynamite taste of Colt 45, one of the fine products from G. Heilemann Brewing Company, La Crosse, Wisconsin, and other cities. By Sears, Roebuck & Company. For quality merchandise, wide selection, fair prices, and dependable service, you can count on Sears. By Xerox, advancing office productivity worldwide. By Chevrolet. Chevrolet is USA 1, and USA 1 is taking charge.
We are USA 1. And number 1 is taking charge in high technology.
The field is dry. It's in very good condition. The temperature at game time, 40 degrees. There's a front moving in, however, and they say we might have some precipitation, might have some snow flurries, perhaps some sleet before this one is over. Penn State. And for all of their seniors, it's the final home appearance. Final game of the regular season for the two schools. And you could have almost predicted a matchup of this magnitude before the season. Pitt, as I mentioned earlier, ranked number 1 in most preseason polls. As you look at Foge Fazio, at the age of 43, he was the defensive coordinator under Jackie Sherrill. Jackie had great success at Pittsburgh and then opted to go to Texas A&M. Coached the Aggies this season, so they stayed within the current administration and went with Fazio. He took over, and Foge with a mark of 9-1.
Coaching against a man who once tried to recruit him. Joe Paterno tried to recruit Foge Fazio to go to Penn State when Joe was an assistant coach at Penn State.
He was not persuasive enough, however, as Fazio opted to play his college football at Pittsburgh.
And play very well. He went on to have a career with the then Boston Patriots.
Then the defensive coordinator. Now the head coach. Penn State winning the toss. So the Pitt Panthers to kick off. That's Eric Schubert, a sophomore from Greenwood, New Jersey. Kevin Bow is back deep to receive for Penn State, along with Tony Mumford. Number 12, Mumford. And as we pull out, there is Bow. He's the key man on the run backs. And the kick is in his direction, but long enough so that Kevin has no run back, and Penn State comes out to the 20-yard line. Now we've talked about Blackledge. You've got Warner, the tailback, looking for 1,000 yards. He's 77 shy. John Williams is a converted tailback, now playing fullback. Jackson is the big play threat. He can fly. Greg Garrity runs those disciplined routes, and he's the threat on the other side. So first down for Penn State. The Nittany Lions have exhibited a very balanced offense this season. And when you break down the stats, you'll notice that in passing, they picked up more yardage than they have on the ground, and that is quite uncharacteristic of Penn State teams. They stay on the ground for the first play, and slipping after getting the handoff is Williams. Now up front, you've got Hiller, 248 pounds. Pete Spiro, 6'2", 253. The center is Mark Battaglia. His hometown is Pittsburgh, 243. Dick McGinnis, his hometown right here. State College at 250. Bill Conch is a good one at 6'6", 252 pounds. And Mike McCloskey is the tight end. He's caught 17 passes this season. Second down, 10, Penn State from the 20. Blackledge, whose father is the offensive line coach of the Steelers, with a deep drop. They set up the screen to Williams. He's past the 20. The 25 has the first down. Is bumped out of bounds near the 33-yard line by Charles Yogi Jones, number 59, the linebacker who leads the Panther defense in tackles.
Todd Blackledge, good job of setting up this screen pass. It's to his fullback, John Williams, who had 18 catches coming into today's game and has been a pleasant surprise at that fullback position. He takes a little move to the inside, takes it to the outside. First down for the Nittany Lions.
First and 10 out at the 33-yard line. Jackson is wide to the left, and Garrity is split to the right out of the I formation. Tailback is Warner. First carry through the middle. He picks up close to 5 near the 38-yard line. Yogi Jones and Michael Brooks. Jones 59, Brooks 50. In on the stop. It'll be second down and 5 out at the 38. The Pitt defense second only to Arizona State. Brooks, Pozzoli, Pelusi, Moss, and Wing Lekowski up front. Kranick and Yogi Jones are the linebackers, and there's the secondary. Lewis and Flynn are both at about 80% nursing foot injuries. Second down and 5. Off the play fake. They set up the screen again, and this time Williams can't one-hand it. So it'll be third down and 5. The pressure that time applied on Blackledge by number 71, Bill Moss. It's a tough defensive front for the Panthers, and one of their keys today will be to pressure Blackledge.
And one of the ways to slow down that good defensive front is to throw screen passes. Draws and screens are ways to keep them alert. That front three, you know, they're known as the Pac-Man, and they will gobble up backs the same way the Pac-Man gobbles up dots.
Mr. or Ms. Third down, 5 from the 38. Blackledge flushed out of the pocket, rolling and throwing to Williams at the 43. He's into Pitt territory and shoved out of bounds at the 37-yard line. And the resourcefulness and the mobility of Blackledge was demonstrated there. He was able to elude Kranick coming in. He was moving to his left, threw back across the green, picks up the first.
Absolutely. You called it. Now watch this. This is called escape dimension, and it's something the pro scouts like very much. And he threw that ball back to his right while he was moving to his left. John Williams, the fullback, a junior who has been improving steadily throughout the season, picks it up and moves to the sideline for another first down.
So Blackledge 2 for his first 3 to 38 yards. To Williams on both completions. And from the 37 on the delay, it's Williams who gets to the 33-yard line. John Williams averaging 5.3 yards per carry this season. The big back, of course, is Kurt Warner, Pelusi, and Pozzoli making the tackle on the last play. Gain of 4, second down and 6. Penn State, third in the nation in scoring, bringing up close to 35 points a game, but meeting a very, very tough defensive unit. I think Paterno would settle for 3 touchdowns and a field goal today and take his chances. On Second down and 6 from the 33. Blackledge to put it up for the 4th time. Has time. Throwing deep, and it's intercepted in the end zone by Dan Short. Mike McCloskey, the tight end, running a post pattern. Straight down the field was the intended receiver. And Danny Short, a senior from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, number 29, with the interception. And Pitt will take over at the 20-yard line.
Drop back action. Blackledge is trying to go to his tight end, McCloskey, number 81, who is lined up on the left, and he's got a deep post pattern, and there is an outstanding interception right there by number 29, Dan Short, the strong safety.
That's Short's first interception of the season, so first down for the Panthers. So we'll show you a lot of different looks offensively. Shift into the eye now. Brian Thomas, number 44, is the tailback. And on first down, it's Thomas. Nice hold, 25-30. First down to the 31-yard line. Jackson and Paffenroth make the tackle. You've got Dan Marino, the senior. Then you've got Joe McCall, who can also play tailback, lining up as a fullback here. Brian Thomas is their top ground gainer. And a pair of very fleet wideouts in Dwight Collins, 32, and Julius Dawkins, number 80. There's Dan Short, who gave Pitt possession with the end zone interception on Penn State's first series. So Pitt now out at the 31-yard line. Early first quarter, no score. It's Thomas again. Decent-sized hole and a gain of 5 out to the 36-yard line, 2nd and 5. Jimbo Covert will make several All-American teams this year, 279. Fader's been hurt, so he's about 80% today. Jim Sweeney is the center. He'll line up over Greg Gattuso. Ron Sams at one guard, and Bill Freilich is the other tackle, and Freilich himself will garner some postseason honors with Clint Wilson, the tight end. John Brown, last year's Sugar Bowl hero, who would have been the starting tight end, with a knee injury, and he's been out since midseason. Won't play today. Keith Williams comes in as a wide receiver. They spread him to the left side, and Marino, looking over the defense, calls timeout. So an unusual call this early in the first quarter on 2nd and 5 out at the 36-yard line. 11:36 to go, first quarter at Penn State. No score between the Lions and the Panthers. Timeout. Have a 2nd down and 5 upcoming from their own 36-yard line. 11 minutes and 36 seconds remaining. First quarter. Panthers lining up in the eye on 2nd down and 5, and Marino to throw. Deep drop, sets up the screen. Thomas from the 30 to the 35, out to the 37. Net gain of only a yard or 2. Harry Hamilton, number 17, a junior from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, making the stop.
42 receptions coming into the day's game for Brian Thomas. He's known as the BT Express. Good one.
Up front, Schefter, Gattuso, Ofer, and Ashley. The defensive line. The linebackers will call Radicic's name a lot today, I would imagine, number 97. He's exceptional, and you saw the secondary. 3rd down and a long 3, and they pitch it to Thomas on a sweep to the left. He's looking for the first down, and he gets it out to the 44-yard line. He's stopped there by Mark Robinson, number 32, the free safety. The Pitt running game is pretty good. Offensively, most people expected the Panthers to really go wild this season, and strangely enough, unless you've been living in western Pennsylvania, you might not realize that Pitt is 9-1, and yet they've come under a lot of criticism from fans, alumni, and media in the area. They expected more blowouts this season, is what it amounts to. From the 44-yard line, it's Marino throwing, but too high. Julius Dawkins leaping, can't hold on. 2nd down. Dan Biondi, who is only 5'8", was covering Dawkins, who is 6'3". 2nd and 10.
Dawkins, number 80, is a guy who can double both as a deep threat and also as a possession receiver. Now, he goes up high for this ball, and that is a catchable ball as Biondi, number 39, comes in and delivers a good lick at him near the sidelines. I've seen him catch balls that were tougher than that.
He split to the right is Dawkins on 2nd down, and it's Thomas running into trouble and stopped at the 45-yard line. Got a yard or so. 3rd and 9 upcoming with 10 minutes and 17 seconds to play in the period. Walker Lee actually made the stop as you look at Thomas's career numbers. And Lee, what it amounts to in terms of the criticism of Pitt this season is that if you are picked number 1, you have nowhere to go but down.
That's the problem with expectations. That's true in life, too.
To look at it philosophically, I'm certain you can extend it to a lot of areas. Fazio doesn't want to hear any philosophy, though, right now.
It might take more than one game, though.
3rd down and 9 from the 45-yard line. Rolling to the right is Marino. Danny will keep it, but he'll be stopped at the 50-yard line, and they'll be forced to punt as Ken Kelly, number 98, makes the tackle. The Panthers last season came very close to winning a national championship, went into the final game of the regular season, ranked on top, unbeaten, then got blown out by Penn State. Then came back to beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. And this year in preseason, ranked on top. Tony Recchia, a junior from Vandergrift, PA, setting up at the 37-yard line to put it in the air. Kevin Bow, single safety for Penn State, and it's Bow from the 15 out to the 20, and Bow is tackled at the 23-yard line. So Penn State takes over offensively at the 23, 9:04 to go in the period. No score. Pitt and Penn State. 83,770 the capacity at Beaver Stadium. This is the 7th largest stadium in the country and packed again today. Penn State at its own 23-yard line, 1st and 10. No score, first quarter. Todd Blackledge with Penn State lining up in the I, dropping back the pass, going out to the flat at the 23-yard line. Kenny Jackson makes the catch, but Pete Short, the man who made the interception on Penn State's last series, makes the tackle. Adds a little bit of emphasis, and that draws some boos.
Quick out route to the slot back, number 82 for Penn State. That's Kenny Jackson, who is probably the most gifted athlete on the field today, and he really gets a lick from number 29, Dan Pete Short, man who made that great interception moments ago.
Gain of 1. And with Jackson in motion on 2nd down and 9, they give it to Kurt Warner. And he knifes his way out to the 28-yard line. Rich Kranick, number 55, and Dave Pizzoli, number 63, make the stop. Kenny Jackson making a catch here on this series, has now caught a pass in every game this season and has caught at least one in 31 of his last 33 going back to his sophomore year.
And he was the game breaker in this ball game last year when they scored those 48 unanswered points.
3rd down, 4, just outside the 28-yard line. Blackledge sending everybody into the pattern, and the throw is high at the 40-yard line, intended for Greg Garrity. Troy Hill, the cornerback, number 22, covering. Bill Moss put the pressure on Blackledge, and so Penn State forced to kick.
Garrity's father was a receiver here at Penn State. In fact, the Garrity family became the first family to get over 1,000 yards receiving.
Ralph Giacomo to do the punting. Giacomo averaging 40.5 yards per kick this season. His longest 61. There's really no wind, so that has no effect. It's a beautiful kick, and it backs Keith Williams all the way back to the 15. He comes out to the 20. The 25 has some room down the near sideline. He's to the 50, the 40-yard line, the 30, and tackled from behind at the 20-yard line. So a great run back by Williams to set Pittsburgh up in very good shape deep in Penn State territory. So the kick was a dandy, but you've heard the term out-kicking the coverage, and that's what happens here.
That's the problem. He gets a great kick, but here comes Keith Williams, number 21. Now remember, this is a planned play, and look at the block that sets that up as he fakes in and stays out, and it looks momentarily like he might go the distance. He's finally brought down at number 27, which is Chris Sidnor for Penn State.
But
coming back.
A flag was thrown, and after both teams had gone down and were ready to set up at the 20-yard line, they bring it back, and we'll get the call. We've got the official mic. Haven't had the call yet. The referee is Raymond Bauer. see what it's all about.
Delay game. 3 steps.
This is called a fair catch signal. This signal right here.
But as you can see, there's a little bit of confusion maybe amongst the officials. Apparently dealing with a fair catch signal. Could that have been it? Let's see.
There's a fair catch signal. Went more than 3 steps. Let's delay a game. 1st and 15.
All right, they say he called for a fair catch. You watch now.
Number 21, Williams, does wave his hand.
But is that a fair catch signal? Because you could see another Panther, Chris Jellick, in the picture. And what Williams was obviously telling Jellick is, I'll take it. You move away. Give me the ball. Now, the officials obviously interpreted that as a fair catch signal, and thus the ball goes back to the Pittsburgh 11-yard line, and it's 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Joe McCall's first carry of the day nets him a yard or so, and it will be 2nd down and 9. Very controversial call again. Watch him. There's no doubt he's waving Jellick off here.
Yes, he is. He's saying, I've got it. I've got it. That is not a fair catch signal. It says here that a catch following a valid illegal signal is a fair catch. That's from the rule book.
So it's a matter of interpretation as far as the officials were concerned on that play. 2nd down and 13 from the 13-yard line, and a whistle and flags before the inception of the play, and perhaps a delay of the game call here. Let's see. Or a procedure penalty. And it's the latter. Illegal procedure against Pittsburgh. So what the officials obviously interpret there, Lee, is that a signal of that nature, even though you're telling the other man to get away, could be interpreted by Penn State as a fair catch signal, and thus we had the call.
You got it.
Little grist to the mill.
False start. Mr. White. 2nd down.
Ball starts, 2nd down. Back at the 7-yard line. It is 2nd down and 19. Marino off the play fake. Out to Collins. And Collins works his way out to the 21-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5 upcoming. Harry Hamilton making the stop.
Dwight Collins, when they give him these yards, he will take them. He has caught a lot of passes from this slot where he will simply come out and stop right here. Now, Marino looks downfield, but he sees Collins as the open man underneath, drills the ball to him, and he is forced out of bounds by 3 Nittany Lion defenders.
Slot left on 3rd down 5 from the 21-yard line. Movement on the right side, and a flag goes down. Thomas does not get the 1st down, and if the penalty, as we suspect, is against Pitt, Penn State will decline it. The man who moved was Ron Sams, number 77, the guard.
False start. White.
77, Sams, the guilty party. They don't get the 1st, so Penn State should decline.
There it is. Actually, it was a tie between the right guard and the right tackle.
Fraley.
As Brian Thomas tries to get around the left side. Hello.
Moves it back to the 16. Interestingly, they're going to take the penalty here. 3rd down and 9. Back at the 16-yard line. What it amounts to is it could be a dead play, basically. The play whistled dead before its inception, even though it was run off. Otherwise, there's little doubt that Penn State would have declined it. 3rd down and 9 from the 16-yard line. Thomas looking for the 1st, and he gets out to the 26, and he's close to it. Roger Jackson making the tackle.
Very close to it. He's got it.
And it is a 1st down. Rob Fada, 64, the guard, springing the block to lead the way.
There's the block right there, and it's a good move by Thomas, who comes from the inside to the outside. Good blocking all along the right side for Pittsburgh as the BT Express rolls on.
1st down, Panthers at the 26-yard line. 5:35 to go in the quarter. No score. Marino faking the give and going deep. Looking for Dawkins, who's double covered and broken up at the 20-yard line. Marino about 60 yards in the air that time. Robinson was covering along with Biondi. Good coverage. Dawkins never had a chance.
One of the things we said at the top of the show is that from time to time, Marino has had a tendency to force the ball. As Julius Dawkins, number 80, is running a straight fly pattern. Now watch this. There's double coverage. Biondi and Mark Robinson, number 32, the safety man, coming over there. And Robinson, according to Joe Paterno, is as good a safety as he has ever had. An exceptional athlete, both as a support man and on coverage, as you just saw.
And an interception back 91 yards in last year's meeting between these two schools. Rolling left on 2nd down and 10. It's Marino throwing out to the 37-yard line to Dwight Collins. Serafino Fazio, age 43. This is his first head coaching experience, serving as the defensive coordinator in the recent past. He's just watched his team pick up the first down out of the 38-yard line, 1st and 10. Collins out, and Barry Compton, number 19, comes in to replace him. And Compton sets up in a slot to the right. From the 38, it's the up back Joe McCall breaking it into Penn State territory to the 48-yard line. Jackson and Robinson making the stop. Under 5 minutes to go in the period.
McCall, the fullback, has been a tailback. He starts over the left side and then makes a good move back to his right. There was some congestion there in the middle, and he heads down into the secondary, and Roger Jackson, number 49, is the man who gets the first hit, along with Mark Robinson, number 32, in the secondary.
At the Lion 48-yard line on 1st down, Brian Thomas pushes his way inside the 45 to the 43. Greg Gattuso making the tackle. So an interesting sequence here, a drive that started deep in Pitt territory after the illegal fair catch signal negated a run back. Then on 3rd down, Pittsburgh illegal procedure, but the play whistled dead. Otherwise, Penn State could have declined it before the inception. They picked up the first down, and now they're moving. They're at the 43-yard line at 2nd down and 5. Marino, great protection, but the pass is behind Julius Dawkins.
Dan Biondi, the man once again on the coverage.
Marino 3 out of 6 for 28 yards. The Panthers, as you can see, a team dominated with seniors last year. The reason they were picked number 1 in the preseason polls is they returned 18 of the 22 starters. Now, Fazio next season will have to do quite a bit of rebuilding. As far as Penn State is concerned, they're basically in the same boat. Junior and senior dominated. No freshmen, no sophomore starters. 3rd down, 5 at the Penn State 43-yard line, and Thomas is close to a first down as he dives to the 38-yard line. The tackle by Dave Papenroth, 33. Marino has been criticized this season in the sense that, again, like the Panthers, who are expected to be number 1 and are number 5, Marino was expected to be a prime candidate for the Heisman Trophy. He'll probably finish very far up in the balloting, but chances are he will not get it. The measurement right here, and they are shy of a first down. Danny has not had a Heisman type of season, despite the fact he has passed for better than 2,000 yards. In fact, he's thrown more interceptions than touchdown passes.
Early in the year, like you say, he was throwing a lot of interceptions. He was kind of forcing the ball. He was pressing a little bit, and wasn't throwing with the looseness, the fluidness that he really has been throwing with in recent weeks.
On 4th and inches, Marino's going to take another timeout as he came up to the line, looked at the defense, and he spends another. So with 3:29 to go in the first quarter, Pitt has only 1 timeout remaining in the half by Walker Lee Ashley, number 37. So the Panthers keep the ball and keep moving with 3:25 to go in the first quarter.
Here's an outstanding cut by the tailback Brian Thomas. He's coming off tackle on the blaster isolation play. Fralick, number 79, the right tackle, gets a good block down, and he makes his cut to the outside. Walker Lee Ashley, number 37, who has been busy for the Nittany Lions this season, makes the tackle.
Pitt from the 36 on 1st and 10. Marino, good protection again. The pass is high, and it's tipped, and it's deflected, and it's intercepted. Ken Kelly, number 98, coming up with the interception. Julius Dawkins was the intended receiver. Tipped by Dawkins, it was deflected, I think, by Paffenroth. We'll see it again, and then the intercept.
Ken Kelly, the linebacker, is just dropping into his normal linebacker drop here, and the ball is thrown high. It looks momentarily like someone else is going to get it. Dave Paffenroth's going to get it. Kelly is the man who winds up with the football. 2:58 to go, first quarter. Lions get it back at the 18. Here's Kelly, the linebacker, 6'2", 223, out of Stratford, New Jersey. He was a high school quarterback in New Jersey. His interception has given Penn State the ball at their own 18-yard line. No score, 2:58 to go in the first quarter. Kurt Warner to the outside, 20, 25, and he picks up 9, just shy of the first down, run out by Troy Hill, number 22. Another look now at the interception off the double deflection. We talked about the tendency that Marino has to force the football, although in this case, he's throwing to what appears to be a pretty open target. Julius Dawkins, number 80, is down here running his favorite route, which is a curl in, but he throws the ball high. Now watch the reaction right here. First of all, by Paffenroth, number 33, tips the ball into the hands of Ken Kelly, number 98. They have a marvelous tradition of linebackers in Penn State. We'll talk more about that. Second down, 1 from the 27-yard line. Pitch it to Warner. First down for Kurt. He's out to the 35-yard line. The ball loose, but recovered by Penn State. It was Greg Garrity, number 19, who slipped in there to cover it. Troy Hill laying the pop on Warner to jar it loose. All right, you're looking at some of the open field running ability of Kurt Warner, number 25, as he turns the corner right there. Now, Troy Hill, number 22, is the guy who strips the football, but an alertness by number 19, Greg Garrity, in covering the football, keeps the drive going for the Nittany Lions. First down, Penn State from the 35-yard line. Blackledge throwing over the middle. He's got Garrity at the 43 of the Panthers, and a first down at the 37 of Pittsburgh. So Penn State showing something offensively for the first time in the game. It's Tom Flynn, who's playing hurt, who makes the stop, number 5. This is the same route that Garrity ran so effectively in last year's Fiesta Bowl game against USC. It's a deep post pattern, down and in. Here he comes, Tom Flynn, the safety man, who is playing, as Al Michaels told you, at about 80% today. Here's another look, the crossing route, right in there, number 19, Garrity. Smart move, possession receiver. First down from the 37-yard line. Blackledge, deep drop, sets up the screen, and Williams took his eye off the ball. He had blockers in front, too. He'd have picked up a few. So Williams thinking about heading downfield instead of making the catch, and it's 2nd and 10. Sports quiz, you can't run without the what? Without the pigskin. All right. First of all, you've got to be a good actor on the screen, and what Blackledge does there is he sets it up very well for Williams. He had a great screen. He had open field. It could have been a possible touchdown right there. 2nd and 10. Did I get a prize for the right answer there? You did. You have multiple choice. Right. 2nd down and 10 from the 37-yard line. Williams cutting back the other way, breaks a tackle, has the first down, and he's out at the 25-yard line, bumped out by Tom Flynn. So the Lions, starting this drive at their own 18, with 1:52 to go in the first quarter, now have a first down at the Pittsburgh 25-yard line. John Williams really gives them a good 1-2 punch in the backfield. You know about Kurt Warner. Joe Paterno has said he's maybe the best athlete he has had other than Lenny Moore. Maybe as good as Lenny Moore. But this man right here has played a key role, both as a lead blocker and also doubling as a ball carrier. On the bench right now, Joel Coles comes in at fullback, number 20. First down, Penn State from the 25-yard line. Blackledge at the 15-yard line. Complete there to Kenny Jackson. Short of a first down, Tim Lewis, like Flynn, playing hurt, providing the coverage, but loose coverage. More superlatives. Joe Paterno says this is the most outstanding wide receiver he has ever had here at Penn State. You see it he has such great speed that they have to play off him, so that sideline cut is wide open for him. You look at his numbers there, and you see why so many people are impressed with this young junior athlete.
Caught 5 last year against Pittsburgh, including 2 for touchdowns. It's 2nd and 1. Penn State from the 16-yard line. It's Joel Coles, and Coles gets 10, and it'll be first down and goal. Lewis and Flynn, the 2 injured secondary men, making the stop. So first and goal with 1:40 to go in the quarter.
Now you're talking about a textbook drive. When I talked to Joe Paterno yesterday, the thing he said is that they really wanted to get balance into their attack. He said they couldn't turn it into an aerial circus. They knew that they couldn't do a total grind out. They would like to mix up the passing and the running, throw in some obvious running situations, and vice versa. This has been that kind of drive for the Nittany Lions.
First and goal at the 9. That's Jackson in motion. And Blackledge in the air to Kenny, and incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Short and Hill covering.
We talked earlier about those down linemen of Pittsburgh and how they're called the Pac-Man, how they will gobble you up just the way the Pac-Man gobbles up dots. And that time it was the quarterback that got gobbled up. Number 14, Todd Blackledge. Hello, Pac-Man.
Pozzoli, Belusi, and Moss, the big 3.
Stayed up all night learning those pronunciations, didn't you?
2nd down and goal from the 9-yard line. Blackledge looping it, incomplete, intended for Jackson. Kenny in the end zone along with Troy Hill, number 22, so 3rd down.
Blackledge trying to throw what's known as a fade pattern, which is a true timing pass. It's 1, 2, 3-step drop, and you loop the ball up and over the cornerback, and you throw to a spot. That time he threw about 10 yards too far.
3rd down, goal. The drive had started at the Penn State 18-yard line. Jackson goes in motion. They fake it to Joel Coles, and Blackledge throwing for Garrity and overthrows him. So Todd, after moving them deftly downfield, loses his touch, and it's 4th down and the field goal unit in.
Garrity, number 19, is running a down and in or post route again. This has been his most effective pattern, and he is open momentarily right there. If this ball been thrown about 2 feet lower, he had beaten Troy Hill to the post. That would have been a touchdown.
Nick Gancitano, the field goal attempt coming up from the 15-yard line, a 25-yard attempt, and the kick is good. So they cash in for 3. On a long drive that bogs down at the 9, Gancitano booting it through. He is now 8 of 11 for the season. 1 minute, 1 second remaining in the first quarter. It's 3-0 Penn State.
Nice diversified drive for the Nittany Lions, but one that ends with 3 points instead of 7.
The Nittany Lions, Sugar Bowl bound. New Year's night, they'll be in New Orleans to meet Georgia. The Bulldogs currently ranked number 1. Georgia has 1 game remaining this season. That comes up tomorrow, and they should not have much of a problem with Georgia Tech in that traditional battle. If they win that, they'll go in 11-0. Coming up tomorrow, Bear Bryant and company, Alabama taking on Auburn at Legion Field in Birmingham. We'll have that for you at noon Eastern time. Next Saturday, Arkansas and Texas. The Southwest Conference shootout, 12 Eastern time. And then Saturday, December 11th, we'll have Division I AA semifinals and the Division II final for you. Upcoming college football on ABC. Massimo Manca with a bouncing kick that's fielded at the 22-yard line and run out to the 33 by number 87, Cesar Aldisert. And the Panthers come out offensively at the 33 with 57 seconds to play in the quarter.
So Danny Marino goes to work again, and with respectable field position.
And he'll kick the field goal, Nick Gancitano, sophomore. 3-0 Penn State. Pittsburgh from the 32 on first down. Marino right back to the air and nearly intercepted. intercepted at the 45. Harry Hamilton had it in his hands and couldn't hold on. Dawkins was the intended receiver. That secondary is doing a good job.
Hamilton plays a position known as the hero back, which is sort of a rover back. Dawkins is going to be running a sideline cut. He's number 80, and he's out here making his move to the outside. Here comes number 17, Harry Hamilton, and that was a catchable ball. That would have been interception number 2 against Marino had that been caught.
2nd and 10 from the 32-yard line. Brian Thomas about 5 yards, and it's Hamilton making the tackle. 3rd down and 5. Penn State. The offense. You understand that, don't you, Cupper?
It's a very simple play. That was Mark Battaglia, the center, and he's saying, just run right over me.
I'll block for you. I'll knock it down. Give it to Kurt. Let him fly.
Yep.
3rd down, a short 5 from the 38-yard line. Marino rolling right and throwing and complete at midfield to Dwight Collins for a 1st down. Dwight Collins, junior from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. So Collins will be back next season. Dawkins won't. He's a senior.
Collins coming out of that slot spot here, and he's going to move up the field with an outside release. He waits for the outside receiver to clear, and then he falls into the open area in that zone coverage. Right there along the sidelines. That is good possession receiving.
11 seconds to go in the quarter. 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line. Marino calling Collins' number again, and he has it at the 31-yard line. Harry Hamilton making the tackle. So a 1st down at the 31.
Well, if it works one way, why not try it the other?
Collins caught 2 touchdown passes in this game last year to make it a quick 14-0, but that was all for Pitt.
14 zipped and 48 unanswered points. What a blowout that turned out to be.
Well, the teams have been moving up and down the field in this one. It's been an offensive 1st quarter for the most part, and yet only 3 points up on the board. So 15 minutes gone at State College. Number 2 meeting number 5, and Penn State leading 3-0 as we go to the 2nd. Yard line, Dan Marino calling an audible at the line on 1st and 10 from the 31. And they stay on the ground. It's the call at the room to the 28-yard line. Joe McCall, a junior from Miami, Florida, picking up 3. Hines in on the tackle, and let's take a look at the numbers.
Well, you talked about this just a moment ago, how both teams were moving the football in the 1st quarter. We didn't know how even it would be, but if you look at the total yards, you see it's practically dead even. Pitt 130, Penn State with 127. However, one of the things that Pitt wanted to do was keep the football. They lead now in time of possession by about 4 minutes.
But they trail on the board 3-0, 2nd down and 7. And it's Thomas who gets banged down to the 27. Mike Zordich makes the stop. You look at that figure, 131 yards total offense. If you project that out over 4 quarters, you're talking about a 500-yard day for Pitt. So they're on that sort of a pace, and yet there's a 0 up on the board.
So I guess what you're trying to say is that statistics can be misleading.
Occasionally. 3rd down and 6 at the 27-yard line. Forced to the right. Danny throwing on the run. A looping pass into the end zone and incomplete. Dwight Collins, the intended receiver. Mark Robinson was back there with him. 132 covering the other, and it was Walker Lee Ashley who made Marino run for his life.
Danny Marino, you don't think of him as a scrambler, but as I said, he does have escape dimension. He can make that quick move, get out of trouble, and he has a strong enough arm to throw on the move. Dwight Collins, number 32, against Mark Robinson, also number 32. And here is a great athlete in the secondary. Look at Robinson go up right there. The coverage is right there, and he's able to bat the ball away without making the contact.
A 44-yard field goal attempt here coming up from Schubert, and the kick is low.
Sidewinder, he hooked it, and it was low.
So Pittsburgh, again, a decent drive. Come up empty, 13:34 to go in the half. 3-0 Lions. short side of the field, an opening past the 40, and run out at the Pitt bench at the 47-yard line by Dan Short. Kurt Warner, his final home appearance. When Warner has rushed for 100 yards, and as you can see graphically, he has done it 16 times in his career, Penn State has won every one of those games.
And this is one of his best plays. It's a counter or misdirection play. It looks like a sprint draw to the left. It comes back to the right, and you see some of that open field ability. Joe Paterno says sometimes he reminds me of Gale Sayers.
First down from the 47-yard line. Blackledge has to scramble, and he's going to get sacked. But Blackledge is actually able to turn it into a minimal gain in the sense that he was able to lunge forward, or at least no gain. He got back to the line of scrimmage. He was pursued by Al Wenglakowski right there, number 6.
Joe Paterno is hoping that he will have Todd Blackledge back next year, but academically, he's a senior, so he is eligible for the NFL draft. He could be a #1 draft choice, but Joe's hoping he'll be a fifth-year senior next year and have him for one more season.
Important point, he will graduate next May, and if he comes back next year, it will be as a postgraduate student, but he does have that 1 year of athletic eligibility remaining. Second and 10, it's Kurt Warner. No room. Stopped at the 49 by Troy Hill.
That man, in terms of winning percentage, has the best mark among active coaches in college football.
With 10 or more years experience.
Yep.
And in terms of victories, as far as Division I-A coaches are concerned, he is third to only Bear Bryant and Bo Schembecker.
Absolutely.
Third down, 8, Penn State from its own 49-yard line. Lions lead 3-0 early second quarter. Off the play fake. Pressure from the blind side, but he gets it away, and it's incomplete, intended for Garrity. McCloskey was also in the area. Wenglakowski putting the pressure that time from the backside on Blackledge.
That was a good place for that throw.
Receivers covered. Pressure was on. And it's Ralph Giacomo, number 21. To punt, you've got Keith Williams and Jellick again back deep. And this time, Williams will probably not tell Jellick, at least he will not tell him with his hand to move away. End over end kick. Jellick has this one at the 14-yard line. And no return at all. So Penn State pins the Panthers deep. They'll start from the 14, 37-yard boot, 11:51 to go in the second. Penn State 3, Pittsburgh nothing, 11:51 remaining first half. And first and 10 for Pittsburgh from the 15-yard line. Dan Marino turning and giving it to Brian Thomas, and he's wrapped up immediately by Ken Kelly, number 98, after a gain of maybe a yard.
Ken Kelly is busy. He was just back there making an interception a few moments ago. Now he's up there getting a good lick at the line of scrimmage.
It's an aggressive defense. It's a defense that moves around quite a bit. As we illustrated graphically earlier, Pitt, in terms of statistics, has the far better defense. But Penn State has come up with the big defensive play basically whenever they've needed it through the course of the season, coming in with a mark of 9-1. Second down and 8. Marino has a lot of time and finds Thomas knifing over the middle. He stopped out at the 22-yard line. Thomas coming in, their leading receiver. But the thing about Brian is when they go to him, he's normally the outlet man. He's a secondary type receiver, and as a consequence doesn't pick up very much yardage on his catches. In fact, coming in, he'd been averaging only 7.5 yards per reception.
So you figure you're going to use him on swings, checks, circles, screens, that sort of thing.
Third down, 2.5, just shy of the 23-yard line. Marino going to the tight end for the first down. That's Clint Wilson to the 39-yard line. His 11th catch of the year, and little Dan Biondi at 5'8", 170, a senior from Pittsburgh, makes the stop.
First time going to the tight end. It's a crossing route. He's number 84, crossing from left to right. And that timing is perfect because Marino hits him right in between the linebackers. He takes a little something off the ball. Dan Biondi, number 39, comes up in the secondary to make a good open field tackle.
First down for the Panthers at the 39-yard line. Marino pressured and sliding out at the 46-yard line. He was a great baseball player in high school. In fact, he was drafted by the Kansas City Royals going into second base.
Was a perfect slide. He's ready for the NFL.
Yep.
You know who he reminds me of? I was trying to draw a comparison. I couldn't think of anyone. And it dawned on me. He looks a lot like Roman Gabriel at times. The way he sets up, the way he carries the football, the way he stands in the pocket, and sometimes even the way he moves on that semi-scramble.
Second down, 3 from the 45-yard line. Turn and give it to McCall. And he fights his way out to midfield and a first down with 9:28 to play in the first half. Hamilton and Robinson converging for the stop, and the ball is in Penn State territory at the 49-yard line. So again, the Panthers, as they showed us frequently in the first quarter and in the initial stages of this period, are able to move the football. But they're scoreless. Trailing 3-0 from the 49 on first down. Marino coming out here to Thomas at the 45-yard line. And Thomas is able to fight his way close to the 39 and very close to a first down. We have Tim Brandt patrolling the sidelines today. What's happening, Tim?
Ken Kelly made the stop.
Hal, in that very first series when Ty Blackledge ran into John Williams in the backfield, Williams suffered a bruised thigh. Now with the sleet and the cold weather, now it's starting to tighten up on him. He hadn't been in this series, and he's got ice on it now. So he says he's going to try to get back into the ball game, but right now it's very sore. He's got ice on it. Back to you, Al.
All right, Tim. So we'll check that out when Penn State comes out offensively. Meanwhile, the chains are being brought in from the other side to measure here. And they are shy of the first down. That's the kind of measurement when you almost hope you're short of the first down, because it's second down in inches, and you'd rather have the options than picking up the first down here. You got to figure you're going to get it anyway.
Well, my training was that second in inches was a passing situation. That you would do a little riverboat gambling, a little play action, and go for the bomb on second in inches.
Tim Brandt was telling us about Williams, and there he is. John, number 44. His backup would be Joel Coles, number 20.
Pretty cold day to be icing that knee.
Ooh. Danny Marino, able to escape a would-be tackle, and he's going to run for it. Picks up the first down. And he gets to the 31-yard line. Scott Radisick, number 97, covers him there.
First down, Pitt.
So a first down at the 31 with 8:53 remaining in the half.
For a guy who's not known as a scrambler, Danny Marino is doing pretty well on this drive.
Showing a little bit more mobility than you would normally be led to believe. Down from the 31, it's a call, and it's a how do you do tackle by Dave Paffenroth, number 33.
How do you do is right.
Dave Paffenroth made the stop.
Paffenroth, a senior from Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Second down and 10. Penn State a little shaky early on as far as the defense was concerned. Remember, they gave up 42 points to Alabama in their only loss, but very stingy of late. On second and 10, it's Marino again, and he's able to get it away before he gets hit. And a first down at the 11-yard line, Barry Compton. Number 19, a second-teamer, but Marino paid the price for that one. Walker Lee Ashley is making it a miserable day thus far for Danny. Spending a lot of time in the backfield, and Marino is hurt.
The way he's holding himself, you just wonder if he maybe has some rib damage or if there's something wrong with his wrist. Good protection right now. He really has time to set up and throw, except that Walker Lee comes around on his blind side and really gives him a lick. There's the ball right in the open area to number 19, Compton. Here comes Walker Lee, number 37. Now, in the life of a quarterback, there is always a blind side. See it? and he comes in high and hard right into Marino's back. He beat Jimbo Covert, the All-American, came around him, and I remember that well. Not fondly.
So some very anxious moments right now for the Pitt backers. The backup quarterback, Danny Daniels, has thrown only 6 passes this season.
Here's that Jimbo Walker Lee matchup that we're talking about. Jimbo does a good job momentarily, but now Walker Lee keeps wrestling, blows around, gets a high, hard hit right into the 4th and 5th thoracic, I believe, of Marino.
So there is Daniels. Dan Daniels, a senior from Coraopolis, Pennsylvania. His brother Bill was a Pitt quarterback in the early 70s, but as you can see there, the team has played 10 games, and Mr. Daniels has seen almost no action at all. 2 out of 6 for 10 yards, and now he is about to be thrust into a game of major significance for the Panthers. So Dan Marino coming off under his own power, and obviously we'll get a report for you just as soon as possible. 7:50 remaining in the first half. Penn State on top by a score of 3-0. So with a little hand slap for Daniels, Marino goes back. And so the seldom used senior comes in here with his team at the 11-yard line, and a 1st and 10 upcoming. Tailback is Thomas. Bryan gets the ball and gets turned inside as he works his way down to the 8-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Again, it's Ashley in on the stop, and there's Marino on the bench, left shoulder.
Yeah, no, it looks like he's holding his left arm, left shoulder. A little trouble breathing.
2nd down. Call it 7 from the 9. Thomas again, and he's able to force his way inside the 5. Roger Jackson tripping him up, but a gain down to the 4-yard line. 3rd and a couple coming up.
Walker Lee Ashley, number 37, the guy who got the lick on Marino a moment ago. As we look at it one more time, now what he does is he wrestles away from Jimbo Covert, number 75, and let's see if we can see now you see it better that he really did make a good contact with his left arm, the left shoulder, it appears.
3rd down, 2.5 for the 1st down, 4 for the touchdown. From the 4, Daniels turns, gives it to Thomas, gets bumped, comes back the other way, turns it into a touchdown. Roger Jackson gave him a pop, but Thomas was able to maintain his balance, comes spinning off, found the corner, and Pitt takes the lead.
Smart calls when you've got an inexperienced quarterback to go to your best running back. They did it 3 times in a row. Thomas from the tailback position runs right into Roger Jackson, number 49, spins around, does a little whirly bird, comes to the outside, and bursts into the end zone for a Panther touchdown.
Eric Schubert with a point after. It's Daniels to hold, and the kick is good. So Pittsburgh on a 3rd and 2.5. It's Thomas on a great individual effort.
The contact is by number 49, Roger Jackson. Now watch this right here. See, he absorbs that hit, does his spin, comes to the outside. Now the quarterback gets a block in there on Mark Robinson, number 32. That set it up. Daniels got the key block.
6 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the half. It's now the Panthers 7 and the Lions 3. Brian Thomas doing it himself. Actually got a little bit of help from Daniels throwing a nice block.
Dan Daniels, 6'3", 212 pounds. He really put his body on the line there.
Pittsburgh leads 7-3. So the Panthers with 220 yards total offense thus far. And they finally get on the board. Kickoff toward the corner of the end zone. And it goes out of bounds before it crosses the goal line, thus a penalty. Another look now at the TD.
It's a simple tailback blast or isolation play, reverse spin, hand to the tailback. Now, Roger Jackson appears to have Thomas down right there, but he spins, comes to the outside. Now, here's the key right here. The block by Daniels on number 32, Robinson, sets it up for Thomas to come to the outside, beat Ken Kelly, number 98, and burst into the end zone. That's exciting.
Dangerous precedent for quarterback to set in that fraternity. Every other QB in the land is saying, now, wait a second, Danny. Cool it. I'm going to give the coach any ideas.
That's a very dangerous precedent. The next thing you know, they'll have that guy pitching out and be in the lead block like it'd be like an extra fullback in the backfield.
How many blocks did you lay down at Utah?
Well, I can count them. Let's see.
You just named them all, didn't you? Yeah. 35-yard line now for the kickoff after the 5-yard penalty. Eric Schubert, who kicked the extra point. This one just about the same spot, but it's fielded, and then falling down is Skeeter Nichols. That's about the last thing Nichols wanted to do, because first of all, it looked like that one was hooking and hitting out of bounds, and they would have had to kick off from the 30, and then he falls down. And once you do that, of course, in college football, the play's over.
Skeeter Nichols, there's the slip. Slippery field. Down he goes, 6-yard line.
Penn State, 1st and 10 from the 6. Panthers. Marino started that drive, and Daniels with Thomas capping it off. Schubert the point after, going 85 yards. 7-3 Pittsburgh. 6 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the half. And John Williams is in there. So shaking off the injury, he lines up at fullback, and he lays down the block for Warner to get out past the 10, the 15, and to the 20-yard line. Kurt Warner, Blackledge's roommate, fired up. Tom Flynn cut him down. First down.
You pointed out at the very top, he needs only 77 more yards today to have his second straight 1,000-yard season. Some pro scouts feel that he is the best draftable tailback in the country this year. Of course, there's that fellow named Herschel Walker, but you don't think about him till next year.
First down from the 20-yard line. Blackledge, the short drop. And there's Kenny Jackson on his knees at the 21. Let's find out about Danny Marino, and we'll go down to the field and Tim Brandt. Tim?
Al, what it is it's his left shoulder. It is not separated, but it is very, very sore, rather. It is a strained left shoulder. Danny says he wants to come back in. He's behind me now taking some snaps. The doctors aren't sure if he can play, but he's going to give it a shot if he can.
All right, so no separation is the initial prognostication. And we'll see about Marino on the next series. Gain of 2 on the last play. A reception by Jackson, and on 2nd down and 8. 25, a first down, and he's out to the 33-yard line, stopped by Dan Short. Lee Grosscup mentioning he needs 77 today for 1,000, and only one other Penn State back in history is at back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. His name was John Cappelletti, and the second time he did it, he won the Heisman.
Who was the other Heisman Trophy winner that was from one of these schools?
Well, you got to talk about T.D.
T.D.
Who was known at that time as Tony Dorsett, and then when he went to the Cowboys, of course, became known as Tony Dorsett. First down from the 33-yard line. And they pitch it to Joel Coles, and Coles loses the ball, and the Panthers come up with it at the 42-yard line. So with Williams shaken up, he was in for a couple of plays. He came out. Michael Brooks, number 50, the senior from Phoenix, Arizona, makes the recovery. And Coles, the number 2 fullback, giving it up at a most inopportune time with 4.5 to play in the half.
Coles on a pitch out. It appears to have, he's got room around the right side. Hill gets the hit, and there's the fumble recovery.
And Marino is in there at the 43-yard line. It's Thomas to the 42. He's stopped by Harry Hamilton. So Dan Marino, despite the very sore left shoulder, incurred on the last series for Pittsburgh. There are his numbers. 2nd down, 10. 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the half. Keep in mind, if they mount some sort of a drive here, they had to use those 2 timeouts early in the first quarter, so they have only 1.
Good point, but they do have a hurry-up offense.
Last week, off time went without the huddle. Second down and 10. Marino, last thing that he wants to have happen is for him to go down with a hard hit, and he's able to get it away, and it's deflected over the middle. Keith Williams was the intended receiver.
Penn State coming with only a 3-man rush, so they had 8 men back in the secondary. Marino had plenty of time to throw the ball, but everyone was covered.
So 3rd and 10 now at the 42-yard line.
I said at the very top that probably multiplicity was going to be the key defensively, and both teams indicated that they wanted to mix their coverage a lot. It was show them as many different looks as possible to try to confuse both quarterbacks.
Pitt, good success converting thus far, 6 of 10. 3rd down and 10, and Marino's throw is incomplete. Thomas was slicing over the middle to Tuso, the nose guard, was covering. And it's 4th down with 3 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the first half.
That's called scattering 5. They had all 5 men into the pass route that time, and when you've got 8 men deep, you got to do it. Got to spread the defense as much as you can and stretch it.
Tony Recchia to punt. Mark Robinson, the safety, is back to receive, and the kick will sail into the end zone. So Marino comes back in, but he can't move the Panthers. And with 3 minutes and 34, Al Michaels, Lee Grosscup back at State College, Pennsylvania. 7-3, the Panthers of Pittsburgh leading the Nittany Lions of Penn State. Penn State has it at its own 20-yard line. 1st and 10. 3:34 to go in the first half. Williams the fullback and Warner the tailback, and this is Warner going nowhere. Stopped at the 19, loss of 1. Rich Kranick, number 55, making the initial hit.
He has been an active linebacker for them. 62 tackles coming into today's game. A look at number 55, Rich Kranick, at his linebacker position. Good judgment here as he comes up and he has to tackle a man in the open field who has a lot of moves.
2nd down, 11, under 3 minutes to go in the half. Blackledge dumping it off for Williams. He gets hit and loses the ball at the 17-yard line, but let's see. The Panthers think they have it. There has been no indication from the official. Wenglakowski came up with it, but the play had been whistled dead. So a big break here for Penn State as they maintain possession.
Moss got the hit, then Wenglakowski came up with a football, but I think they had already whistled it dead. Screen. Williams with the ball. Moss is going to get the lick right there and strip the football. That is a bad call.
No question.
Absolutely, that is a bad call.
Panthers have a legitimate gripe. 3rd down and 12, and Blackledge tries to capitalize on the call, and does. He hits Garrity, and Garrity's out of bounds at midfield. So they get a break on the call and exploit it, and now they're into Panther territory. The ball will be spotted at the 48-yard line with 2:06 to go in the half, and all 3 timeouts remaining for Penn State.
A couple of very, very questionable calls have really hurt the Panthers in this first half.
We go back to the illegal fair catch signal, which was so ruled. That cost him a long run back. And now Penn State maintaining possession. That's Bow, number 11, in motion. And Warner to the short side. Dumped out in front of the Pitt bench at the 44. Another look on what's an obvious call here, the wrong call. Very conclusive on the
Blackledge does a good job here of setting up the screen. He looks to his left, then back to his right. Williams, number 44, has the football. He's going to get a lick from Moss, number 71, right there. And the ball is just stripped from his hands. He's not down, so that's a fumble.
No question. Second down, 6 at the 44-yard line. Warner has now gone over the 1,000 mark for the season. He's picked up 78 on 10 carries. This is Coles behind Warner, and Kurt lays down the block, but then Coles winds up going over Warner. Dropped at the 40-yard line. Bill Moss broke the play up.
Kurt Warner, known mostly as a running back, is going to turn into a key blocker here. Now watch this. Right there. Good block, but actually, if the ball carrier had hesitated a little bit, let that block set up, little fake to the inside, back to the outside, you would have had, I think, a big play. Number 20, Joel Coles, was just a little bit too soon.
Third and a long one, and a fumble at the 41-yard line, and this time the Panthers have it, and it's official. And it's Wing Lukowski, and justice has been served, because he should have had the fumble recovery before, but they took it away on the early whistle, and now he gets it. So he made practice pay off.
All right, let's take another look at justice right here. There it is, right there. There's the hit. And Wayne Lukowski is going to come up with a football. Another look. Contact. Strips the ball. Holds on to it.
First down, Pittsburgh. Marino is in there from the 43-yard line and going up top if he can. But no. Going down on his knee at the 34-yard line from the blitzing Dave Paffenroth, and we have 1:07 and the clock is running down, and again the Panthers have only one timeout remaining should they elect to use it, and the clock is running now under a minute to play in the half. Strange first half in the sense, as you see there, the turnovers. Penn State losing 2 fumbles, having 1 picked, and Pittsburgh losing an interception. A lot of moving up and down the field, but only 10 points on the board. And delay, this is the call. Out past the 40, and the call gets out to the 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 8 coming up, and we have a half a minute to go in the half. Gattuso and Robinson, along with Jackson, making the stop on the last play. So the way it looks right now, Fazio will be content to let the clock run down. And the teams have been moving up and down the field for the better part of 30 minutes. And for those who have not looked on today and only see the score, they'll think it's a big defensive struggle in the Happy Valley of northern Pennsylvania. It really hasn't been, though. Last play of the half. And Marino trying to set something up. Danny on the run, throws, completed the 45-yard line. And Keith Williams is dropped at the 37. And that will do it for the first half. So a lot of offense in every area except the scoreboard. Halftime. Beaver Stadium, State College, Pennsylvania. Halftime score, Pittsburgh 7, Penn State 3. And we'll be back with today's halftime activities after this message about an upcoming show on ABC. And a word from our local stations. At Pitt Stadium, Panthers coming in unbeaten, had won 17 straight over 2 seasons. First quarter, first possession. Marino hitting Dwight Collins for a touchdown, 7-0. First quarter, second possession. Again, same link up there. Collins making the grab, 14-0. Looked like a long day for Joe Paterno. But in the second quarter, Penn State culminated a long drive when Mike Meade went in for a touchdown to make it 14-7. And then before the half was over, it was Blackledge running this draw, quarterback draw from 8 yards out to make the score 14 apiece. So the teams headed into the third quarter tied, and then after Pitt fumbled early in the third period, it was Blackledge going back to pass, getting protection, finding Kenny Jackson down the left sideline, and look at that move. He avoids 2 tacklers, goes in for a touchdown to make the score 21-14. On their very next possession, they call the same number again. It's Blackledge looking Jackson's way after the pump fake, finding him. This time he's wide open for the touchdown, made it 28-14. Route was on. Penn State added 2 field goals, 2 more touchdowns, went on to win it by a score of 48-14 over the Panthers. Pittsburgh ranked 5th in the country, 7. Penn State ranked 2nd in the country. Lee Grosskopf, and you talked about the fact that both teams had to vary their offenses. They basically did. I think both Daniels came on to spell them. Then Marino came back. It'll be interesting to see, though, what effect. And here's where the injury occurred.
This was the key play in the second quarter. Now, he was completing a pass downfield, but as he completes the pass, number 37, Walker Lee Ashley, comes around on his blind side. He hits him high and hard on the left shoulder, and that took Marino out of the game.
It brought number 7, Dan Daniels, in. Then it was 3rd down at the 4-yard line, 2.5 to go, and a great individual effort here by Brian Thomas for the game's only touchdown.
Brian Thomas is hit by Jackson initially. He bounces out, does a full spinner. Daniels throws the key block on Mark Robinson, number 32, and he outraces Kelly to the end zone for the touchdown. From ground level, now you can see it better. Here's the contact coming up with Roger Jackson, number 49. See it right there. Now he keeps his balance. He spins to the outside. Here's that key block right there by Daniels on number 32, Mark Robinson. That sends him to the outside. Now it's a foot race with Kelly. He blows by Kelly into the end zone for the touchdown.
That came in the second quarter after Gancitano had given Penn State the lead with a field goal in the first quarter. So at halftime at Beaver Stadium in State College, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh 7, Penn State.
Joe Paterno, first of all, Joe, the turnovers. It's so unlike your coach teams.
Well, we haven't fumbled a ball or lost a fumble in 3 games, and I guess that's the law of averages. But if we're a good football team, we'll hang on to it this half and make some things happen for ourselves.
What adjustments did you make at halftime? Pitt did move that football.
Well, Pitt will move the football. Pitt's got a big, strong offensive line. Thomas is running very well. We've got to tackle better. We're waiting for him instead of attacking him, and then we've got to get some contain on Marino. We've been in pretty good position. Our kids have got a little bit of anxious. Instead of just unless we pressure on him, why we can't.
Very quickly, tell me about John Williams. Is he okay?
I think he'll be near 100%.
Okay, Hoss, there you have it. Back up to you, Al.
All right, thank you, Tim. You're the Hoss, Tim, the Roverback, former Roverback under Jerry Claiborne in Maryland. And a word with Joe Paterno. And there is Foge Fazio, whose team leads by 4 with 30 minutes to go.
Roverback in that wide tackle 6 at Maryland. You know he's a Hoss.
Oh, yeah. And a half. Foge Fazio, whose team will be going to the Cotton Bowl again for late tuners in. Pittsburgh coming into the game ranked 5th. They'll meet SMU in Dallas on New Year's Day. Penn State coming into the game ranked 2nd. They will meet Georgia in New Orleans on New Year's night, a game you will see on ABC, the Sugar Bowl. And Penn State has never won a national championship. The Nittany Lions, year after year, come very close, seemingly always in the top 10. But number 1 has been totally elusive. Right now they are ranked 2nd, but they have this task at hand to overcome this deficit, and they'll kick off to start the second half. Massimo Manca to do the kicking. He's a freshman. Born in Sardinia, living now in Reno, Nevada. A bouncing kick that's fielded up at the 15-yard line by Marlon McIntyre, a backup fullback, and he gets out to the 31-yard line. So Pitt takes over there defensively for Penn State. You got Scepter, you've got Gattuso, number 70, a junior from Pittsburgh. Ofer is a good one, the defensive tackle at 262 pounds. And Ashley, of course, made his presence felt through the entire first half. Ken Kelly, the linebacker, number 98. You've got Radisek in the middle, number 97. And Paffenroth, number 33. The other outside backer. First down from the 31-yard line, and it's Brian Thomas carrying out past the 35 and bumped down at the 39-yard line. Paffenroth and Robinson making the stop. Dan Biondi, little fella, only 5 feet 8 and 170 pounds. Roger Jackson, whose brother Kenny is the wide receiver. Then Harry Hamilton, maybe the best athlete on the defense, and Mark Robinson, the free safety, who had the 91-yard interception run back last year in this game. Second down, 1.5 yards near the 40 for Pittsburgh. Joe McCall is the sole running back in this set, and they give it to McCall, but he is stopped before he can get to the 40-yard line. Steve Scepter, the end, and number 41. former linebacker, making the tackle. The numbers through 30 minutes right there.
We talked about the evenness at the end of the first quarter. Now you see Pitt still a little bit ahead in total yards, 240 to 222. The turnovers, though, really the story right there. Penn State has lost the ball 3 times. And you look at that bottom line, the Panthers wanted to play possession football. They have held on to it for 18 minutes, 41 seconds.
462 total yards and only 10 points. You'll rarely see that. 3rd down and 2. Swing it out to McCall, and McCall started upfield before he had it. It's ruled incomplete. So the Panthers had it 2nd and short. Couldn't get the first, and now on 4th down and 2, they're forced to punt. Tony Recchia to do the booting. Came into the game averaging 40 yards a kick. He took over after Ganser had lost his job. Greg Ganser had been the punter until late in the Notre Dame game. The snap and the kick is deflected, a low kick, and it takes a Pitt bounce down to the 40-yard line. The breeze is really picking up right now. The front moving in. The weather could be a factor. 21-yard punt. Penn State has it at the 40. Penn State moving with the wind at their backs as they start this drive from the 40-yard line. It is Blackledge on a roll to the left, and he stopped out at the 41-yard line by Tim Lewis. Now, defensively for Pitt, you've got Michael Brooks recovered a fumble in the first half. Dave Pizzoli is a good one, 248. You've got Pelusi, one of 3 Pelusi brothers who have started in their careers at Pittsburgh, and Bill Moss, part of the Pac-Men up front. Wayne Blakowski also recovered a fumble in the first half. 2nd down, 8 from the 42-yard line. Wind picking up, and it's getting chilly. Game time temperature was 40, and we're dropping in a hurry. Still drying, however, no flurries. 2nd down and 8. Blackledge setting up, loses the ball, but it's covered at the 42-yard line by Bill Kuntz, the tackle, number 79. So a staggering start to this series for Penn State. Pizzoli put the hit on to jar it loose. We'll see it again.
Pizzoli, the leader of the Pac-Men, comes around the blind side of Todd Blackledge right there. He coughs up the ball. Bill Kuntz, number 79, alertly jumps on it for the Nittany Lions. There's the wind that you were just talking about. We saw a Snow Bowl in 1977. You talk about fronts moving in. Remember that one?
The game started similar to this one in very dry and good conditions and ended with a field totally glazed. 3rd down and 8. Blackledge going deep over the middle and incomplete. Warner had come out of the backfield, and Kurt was going down the sideline. So Blackledge can't deliver, and we'll finish up Pitt defensively with Kranick, the linebacker, number 55, and Yogi Jones, the team's leading tackler, number 59. Secondary, Troy Hill at one corner out of South River, New Jersey, and Tim Lewis, who's playing at about 80%, the other cornerback. Dan Short intercepted a pass in the first half. And Tom Flynn, who's also playing at about 80%. Now Jack Amaro to punt with the wind at his back. It's a good kick, and it's fielded inside the 10-yard line by Chris Jellick, who slips down at the 9. So Pitt starting deep, a 50-yard kick, 11:49 to go in the 3rd quarter. Still 7-3 Panthers.
There's a time in life for the young to say, I want something else, a different way. The town's the same, the people too. School is over, needs something to do. The services have it, it'll really show. You'll see new places, you'll really grow in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Challenge, adventure, excitement too, a time to enjoy and see something new. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. You'll work hard, feel really free, serving your country for all to see in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. Be part of a team, be friends forever. A part of the services you won't forget ever. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. It's a great place to start.
Who makes the best-selling radials in America? Goodyear. We outsell all foreign radials combined. One reason, the Goodyear Arriva. It gives you long tread life. And best of all season traction in the wet stuff and the white stuff. The Goodyear all-season Arriva. It's one reason Goodyear is the leader in radials. No foreign maker of radials even comes close. When you need radials, come up to Goodyear.
Trying to stay warm, getting cold in a hurry with 11:49 to go. 3rd quarter, Dan Marino on 1st and 10 to Thomas. He's out past the 10 and then tackled at the 13 by Mark Robinson. Offensively, Marino in there with McCall and Thomas, the running backs. Collins and Dawkins, the wide receivers. Colbert and Freilich are the key men in that offensive line. Both will get a lot of postseason honors, and Clint Wilson, the tight end. The line Wilson up on the left side here, sending Collins and Dawkins wide right. On second down and 4 from the 14. First man through is McCall, and he runs right into the middle of the Penn State defense, led by Ofer. Dave, number 67, who had a relatively quiet first half.
That was not a quiet tackle.
No. Making up for it in a hurry. Third down. And a long 4 from the 14. 10:45 to go, third quarter, 7-3. Pittsburgh.
Will he test the wind?
He'll have to throw straight into it. Nope. Pitch out. Thomas can't get a block. Drops at the 11. Dan Biondi, the corner, came up. So Marino, with that sore left shoulder and deep in his own territory, and with the wind blowing in his face, elects to stay on the ground. Pitt can't move, and they're forced to punt. And Recchia to kick into the teeth of the wind now, with Bow dropping back at the 45-yard line. There he is, number 11 for Penn State. He's at the Pitt 45. Snap is good. Gets the kick away. It's a wobbler. Bounces at the 37. And the Panthers will down it at the 42-yard line. So the Nittany Lions have the ball in Pitt territory with 9 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the third quarter. That kick 33 yards. Tomorrow, Auburn against Alabama. Legion Field, Birmingham will be the site. The Tigers and the Crimson Tide. Alabama bragging rights at stake. You'll see it at noon Eastern time here on ABC. Joel Coles is in there. Williams is not. On first and 10 from the 43-yard line. Jackson in motion. Pitch it to Warner. Slips a tackle at the line of scrimmage and then fights forward to the 39-yard line. He's run out of bounds by Troy Hill. A gain of close to 4. It'll be second down and 6.
Kurt Warner, the tailback, you can see how he slips tackles right here. He's getting the ball on the power pitch, sometimes referred to as student body right. He broke a tackle right there. Slippery as he gets to the outside, forced out of bounds by Hill. Statistics say when you get the ball inside the 50-yard line, you will score 70% of the time.
Second down and 6. Bow is in there, slotted to the left side. Blackledge, after looking in that direction, wide open right side, and slides down at the 30-yard line after he had picked up the first down. Covered by Charles Yogi Jones. So a first down as Blackledge, a man with great mobility, able to exploit it here with his receivers covered on the left side.
You're the baseball expert. How does his hook slide compare with Marino?
I like Marino's a little bit better. I think Danny would have beaten the throw. Todd was out by half a step, but he got the first down. First and 10, just inside the 30. Penn State, as you can see, strong in the second half. Warner. No, sir. Wing Lukowski, number 6, wraps him up for a loss of 1. Blackledge, the quarterback, out of a football family. His father, the former head coach at Kent State. And he was out of coaching for a year. Now his dad, Ron, is the offensive line coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Interesting, you've got Blackledge out of a football family, his dad a coach, and of course the number 1 quarterback in the country by most people's accounts would be John Elway of Stanford, whose father is a head coach at San Jose State.
Elway. John and Jack.
With Jackson in motion on second and 11, they fake it to Warner and then go over the middle. Jackson is inside the 20, the 10, and Jackson is in for the touchdown. So Penn State, after that short punt, winded their backs, and Jackson in motion on that celebration as they get into the end zone for the first time today and take the lead 9-7.
The same guy who was the big play man in last year's game, Kenny Jackson, number 82, scoring on a crossing pattern.
Satano for the point after. Right through. 8:27 remaining. Third quarter, and the Nittany Lions back up by 3.
Play action pass. The fake of the sprint draw to the tailback Warner. Now Blackledge is setting up. Jackson coming from left to right on a crossing pattern. The man he's racing to the end zone is number 22, Troy Hill. And he wins that foot race for the score.
Tight ropes the sidelines. There he is. Kenny Jackson, 10-7 Lions. 10-7. Kenny Jackson scoring the touchdown. On the replay, you saw Jackson beating Hill going down the sidelines. A little bit of irony there. The two of them, high school teammates back in New Jersey. So Kenny won that race. His club leads by 3, but a lot of time to go. 8:27 remaining in the third quarter. The wind blowing the ball off the tee. We started with 40-degree temperatures and no wind at all. Right now, I would guess we're in the low 30s. And the wind is blowing out of the north-northwest or left to right as we look at the field at probably about 20 to 25 miles per hour.
It has been a factor here in this third quarter. We talked a moment ago about how statistics bear out that if you get the ball inside the 50-yard line, you will score 70% of the time. Penn State, with good field position, took advantage of it, culminating with that crossing route to Jackson for the touchdown.
Chris Sidnor has to hold, and this is Ganzatano kicking off for the first time today. Manka just wasn't doing the job. The kick is fielded on the run up at the 10-yard line, and back out to the 27 comes Darnell Stone, a freshman. They have high hopes for Stone in the offensive backfield in the future, and there are the numbers on the Penn State scoring drive. Didn't take long.
4 plays.
So the crowd now at Beaver Stadium, and we have a new record. Somehow, in a stadium that holds 83 and change, they were able to squeeze in 85,522 bodies to keep warm. First down, Pittsburgh. Marino trying to be heard above the din from the 28-yard line. Gives it to Brian Thomas, moving to the right side, and Thomas loses the football out at the 32-yard line. No indication yet. The play may have been whistled dead. Let's see. It was. Back at the 29-yard line.
Mark Robinson thought he had the football momentarily. Coming up from his strong safety position. Let's watch. It's just actually it's the blast play. He takes it wide. Now, watch number 97, Scott Radisick, the linebacker, get the first hit. Now, here comes number 32, Mark Robinson, along with Dave Papencourt. Close call.
2nd and 9. It's Thomas again. About 2. Lions carried 20 times for 80 yards. Radisick and Ashley making the tackle. So upcoming third down, call it 6 from the 31.
Something is happening. Momentum is changing.
Also, keep in mind, too, Marino would be far less inclined to put the ball up in this quarter than he will be in the fourth when he's going to have the wind at his back.
Yep.
Third down, 6. Thomas up and over the 2,000 mark in his career. Marino runs into Thomas, maintains his balance, but he's in a lot of trouble. Somehow able to scramble loose, but not for long. Dropped at the 22-yard line. Dave Ofer was the man, number 67. So the offense scores and the defense comes alive, and Penn State's going to get the ball back in what should be pretty good field position.
You're going to see a mix-up in the backfield. Thomas was supposed to be faking a counter action there, I think. Ken Kelly, number 98, in hot pursuit. Scramble. And Dave Ofer, number 67, is the man who ultimately puts down Marino.
Tony Recchia kicking into that strong wind, a very high snap, a leaping catch, and now he's in a lot of trouble. He'll have to try to turn the corner, and he does, and goes out of bounds near the 29, but not even close to a first. Mark Robinson drove him out. the 7. Coming back. Wind at their backs at the 30.
Now watch, the high snap is what forces him to go wide. Now you're going to be looking at a tremendous athlete, strong safety, Mark Robinson, number 32, who has been called a combination of Jack Tatum and Jack Ham for his toughness and open field tackling ability.
First down, Nittany Lions. Jackson, the man who scored the touchdown, is in motion, number 82, and Blackledge gives it away to Warner through the middle. Hurt gets 5 to the 25. 6 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter. J.C. Pelusi and Dave Pizzoli making the stop.
Once again, they get the football in opportunistic field position.
Jackson out. Bow comes in with the play, number 11.
How quickly things have changed in favor of the Nittany Lions here in the third quarter.
On 2nd and 5, Warner is in the slot to the right. Coles is the setback. And they pitch it to Coles. Over the left. Stopped at the 23-yard line. Bill Moss makes the tackle, number 71. And it will be third down and about 3.
They go backside with the pitch to Coles. Warner was in the slot to the right.
Coach Fazio hoping that his defense can stiffen. Coach knows that in another 5 minutes and 10 seconds, he'll have the advantage of the wind at his back. They're going to try to close him down here, though. Keep him within 3 if they can. It's third down and 3, and a big play coming up as Warner looks for the first down, and he tries to squeeze his way through, but I think he's shy by about half a yard. Krenak and Pizzoli making the tackle. So you've got fourth down and less than 1. With 4:44 remaining in the third quarter. Blackledge looking over to the bench. Now here comes Williams with
We
the
talked
play.
about the interior of this Pitt line. Now look at this. Look how they go right into Kurt Warner, number 25. Rich Krenak is the man who makes the tackle, number 55.
They're going for it. They line up in a power I. Shift out of that. They've got Warner and Coles as the setbacks, and Williams in motion to the left. And the fake by Blackledge, who goes to the first down to the tight end, McCloskey. So a gambling play, and they come up a winner. It's a first down.
Gutsy call in a short yardage situation, but I like it. See the crossfire action in the backfield? A little roll, boot, or waggle action to the left. McCloskey, the tight end, who's following in a tradition of great tight ends, simply slides on a little out pattern along the sidelines, and Blackledge nails it. Good call, good pass.
First and 10 at the 13. Blackledge is now 10 of 19 for 149, and it's Warner. Tough time getting his footing, and the play ends in a hurry. Hasn't been that kind of a game. He'll sleep through anything, I suppose. Someday they'll say, you were there, Beaver Stadium. Big crowd was looking on. But you got your Z's in anyway.
On the nod.
2nd and 11. Warner.
There's a story.
2 years in a row now. Over 1,000. 2nd and 11 from the 14, and Blackledge, who has 3 wide receivers to the right, throws out of the end zone. Kenny Jackson was the man for whom the pass was guided, but he was well covered by Tim Lewis. 3rd and 11.
Got to lower the sights on that rifle. 3rd and 11. Let's see if they try some type of combination pattern with Kenny Jackson in the slot.
Extra defensive back coming in, John Lewis, number 30 for the Panthers. Garrity and Jackson are both split to the right. On 3rd down and 11, Blackledge under some pressure and throwing incomplete. He sent Coles out of the backfield down the sideline. The pressure was put on by Pizzoli, and it's 4th down. So they had a 4th and inches, went to the air, found McCloskey, picked up the first, but then they're stalled. And now with a 4th and 11 confronting them, the field goal unit coming in.
Jackson was in the slot, and there was a combination strong side, but they tried to go to the backside and hit the tight end, McCloskey.
Gansitano, 31-yard attempt. He kicked a 25-yard field goal for Penn State's first 3 points in the first period. And with Strang, the backup quarterback, holding, the kick is good. 3 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the third quarter at Beaver Stadium. And Penn State down by 4 at the half, now leads by 6-7. Temperature dropping. They expect some snow flurries. As yet, we have not had them. And Penn State to kick off. Wind at their backs. Gansitano will do the booting, but again, he'll need some help as Chris Sidnor will hold it at the 40-yard line. Penn State, number 2 in the country. And a date upcoming with number 1 on New Year's night. Pitt, number 5. Kick coming down to Barry Compton at the goal line. And Compton is ripped at the 10-yard line. A great tackle by Rocky Washington, who is a backup wide receiver and a man who signed with the Cincinnati Reds to play baseball and spent 1 season in their farm system and decided he would enroll at Penn State, forget about baseball, and now concentrating on football. And he made his mark right here.
They were talking about him just yesterday. Now watch number 29, Rocky Washington, come into your picture with speed and force and take down number 19, Barry Compton, on a swooping tackle.
Paterno says he has blazing speed. He's hopeful of harnessing him someday and utilizing him to his advantage. And on first down, there is nothing doing over the left side for one Brian Thomas. Scott Radisick and Mike Fruhan in on the stop. 2nd and 10. Clock running with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Lions have come alive defensively and are shutting down the Panthers right now in the third quarter.
Dawkins, line to the right. In the slot to the right. On 2nd and 10 from the 10, it's Marino off the play fake. With protection, throws out to the 24-yard line and incomplete. Julius Dawkins had to go down to try to get it and couldn't hold on.
Julius Dawkins running his favorite route, which is about a 12 to 14-yard hook or curl in, and it looks right there momentarily that he has the football. He loses it, touches the ground. Bionde and Mark Robinson, number 32, again on the coverage.
Marino at 50%, 10 out of 20 for 128 yards. And on 3rd and 10, they are going to punt. They're going to line up anyway in punt formation. And the kick by Recchia bounces at the 35-yard line, out past the 40, and is down at the 44-yard line.
I have to question that call.
I'm wondering, I'm trying to figure out in my own mind.
Absolutely don't understand that call.
The reason for that, it has really little to do with the end of the period and turning around. They kick into the wind on 3rd down, give Penn State the ball at the 43-yard line of the Panthers.
Especially when you have one of the most prolific passers in NCAA history in Marino. Why not let him put the ball up one more time? Try for a first down.
Very curious call. And it gives Penn State time to move with the wind at their backs. 2.5 minutes to play in the period. This is Williams inside the 40-yard line. And he stops at the 35 after a gain of 9. Tom Flynn and Tony Hill, or Troy Hill, converge on the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
Well, you've heard us talk a lot about Kurt Warner. Now look at number 44, John Williams. There's some fancy footwork by him as he cuts back, hurdles a man downfield. And number 5, Tom Flynn, who has been a very active man in the secondary for the Panthers all season, ultimately makes the tackle.
2nd down and 1 from the 34-yard line. Time looking for Jackson. He gets bumped, and there's interference. And there's no doubt about that one. Tom Flynn made the contact. Tommy's pleading his case. He really doesn't have it.
Kenny Jackson, number 82, running the identical route that he scored on a few moments ago. Now watch number 5, Tom Flynn, the safety man, come into your picture, and that is blatant interference.
Flynn was contending that he was going for the ball, but there was no question about that call. The only question about any call here is that punt on 3rd and 10. I can see not wanting to necessarily pass into the wind, but at least you keep it on the ground.
On the previous play, Marino had thrown a very good curl-in route. So that would indicate that he can throw into the wind.
First down, Penn State. 1:46 to go in the period. Blackledge setting up. Has time again for Jackson, and it's through his hands. He rifled it. Tim Lewis was covering on the play.
That is a catchable ball. Kenny Jackson should have had this football. Now watch what he does here. I think, to me, I've always liked the basket catch as opposed to crossing your hands. Now let's just see where those hands are and watch his hand-eye coordination. You see how he crosses his hands? To me, a basket catch where you put the hands up and you've got a double shot at it is always the best way. Crossing the hands like that eliminates the second option.
2nd and 10 from the 15. Warner inside the 10 goes Pitt, and he's through the 5. That should be a first down. Michael Brooks making the stop. First down and goal.
Kurt Warner, according to Joe Paterno, the man we just saw, is the best athlete. He said maybe possibly only Lenny Moore in all the years, and you're talking about some good backs. He said this man is better than anyone he has ever had at the running back position.
Earlier today set a new Penn State career record with 634 rushing attempts. Look at another one here. And he gets about half of what he needs. It'll be 2nd down and goal inside the 3-yard line. Kranick and Palucci making the stop. Under a minute now remaining in the 3rd quarter. Penn State leading 13-7. 2nd down and goal at the 2.
Kurt Warner is bigger than they list him. They list him at about 198 pounds, but he's really 208 pounds. So he's effective both as a tough inside runner, and he also has the speed to be a breakaway threat.
Split backs here. Williams in motion. Give it to Warner. Kurt looking for the gap and doesn't find it, and he is stopped at the 2. And the clock continues to run with 20 seconds remaining in the period. So you've got 3rd down, goal, ball at the 2-yard line. They were asking Paterno if he wants a timeout. They were looking over and saying, do you want to call time here? And we'll have one more shot with the wind. And Joe says, no. Let's let the period expire because I don't think we're going to need the wind at our backs with 3rd down and goal at the 2. So the 3rd quarter is over. It belonged to Penn State. They lead after 3, 13-7. And we'll be back at Beaver Stadium in State College, Pennsylvania, for the 4th period. After this 4th quarter, Al Michaels and Lee Grosskopf with you. Penn State leads by 6. It's their ball at the Pitt 2-yard line. 3rd down and goal. Going into the wind as we start the 4th period. That's Williams in motion. Blackledge off the fake, maybe looking for a tight end. They'll do that a lot. Throwing this one out of bounds. John Williams, the intended receiver, number 44. So 4th down now. And when you lead by 6, and you've got it 4th and goal, 3 more, puts the opponent out of range of retaking the lead with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, so you settle for the 3. Ganzatano has kicked a 25-yard field goal and a 31-yard field goal. This one's at an angle, spotted at the 9, a 19-yard attempt. Perfect. So Ganzatano is 3 for 3. And 9 seconds into the 4th quarter. Penn State leads Pittsburgh 16-7.
It's a funny feeling when you're 17, just finished school and times are lean, don't have a job, don't know what to do, never learned a skill and you want to work too. Well, you know the services have the means to teach someone who's still in his teens. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, they'll take you, train you.
Now, I've seen some great T-shirts in my
I want one of those. It's like an Aggie joke, isn't it?
It is. It is. Not to disparage Pitt. You can throw any school in there.
Yeah.
If you want to get even with them. IR on an academic scholarship.
Fine student athlete.
Yeah. Coach Fazio, his team is down by 9. And what will work in his favor, of course, here in the fourth period, is that the Panthers, who were totally stymied offensively in the third quarter, will now have the wind at their backs. Massimo Manca, freshman, to kick off. And again, he boots a ground ball. Which is fielded at the 17-yard line by Marlon McIntyre and run out to the 23. In the third period, well, first of all, let's take a look at the numbers through 3.
Now, you can see what happened in that third quarter because, remember, Penn State was slightly down. Look how they took charge in total yards and also climbed up there in time of possession. Prior to that, Pitt had been in charge in those two areas.
Well, in the third quarter alone, Pitt gained only 13 yards.
Yep.
All on the ground. Marino was 0 for 2. But now he's got the wind at his back. First down from the 23-yard line. They start the drive with Thomas through the middle, and he gets out to the 32 for a gain of 8. Harry Hamilton and Walker Lee Ashley making the tackle. It'll be second down and 2.
Monster defense right there.
Bob Euchre calling signals.
Is that the Euchre?
That's the Euchre. He's everywhere. Second down and 2. You got dressed up today. At the 31-yard line. Marino, good protection, and then throws to the ball, and he has it at the 36-yard line, and that is enough for a Panther first down. He was run out of bounds by Dave Papenroth.
You know, this guy has to do push-ups every time that Penn State scores. You're aware of that, aren't you?
Well, he's had to do 4 sets of them today. 3 field goals and a touchdown. And the Lions lead 16-7.
I saw you pumping some iron yesterday in the Penn State weight room.
Yep, 5-pound curls. I did 2 of them. First down. Pittsburgh at the 36-yard line. It's Thomas past the 40 and out to the 45-yard line. 8-yard pickup. Radisic and Sefter on the stop. Second down and 2.
Wind can be a factor, even if only psychological. It's nice to know that wind is at your back, even when you're running the football.
Especially if it comes down to having to kick a field goal, too, to win a ball game. Second down and 2 from the 45. And it's Thomas. He gets into Penn State territory, and Bryan takes it down to the 41-yard line, stopped by Robinson and Kelly. 13:25 remaining in the game. Let's get a weather update. What's it like on the field, Tim Brandt?
Al, I'll tell you this. You were talking about the wind being a factor. Pitt now has that to its back, but I'll tell you, the rain is starting to come down now. There is some sleet. The field is getting slippery. That will be a factor. Back to you, Al.
All right, Tim. It is first down for the Panthers at the 41 of Penn State. Marino. And it is caught at the 28-yard line. A great catch by Dwight Collins. Somehow, he was able to wrest it away from Hamilton, and Dwight needs a moment. He's shaken up.
We talked about how Dan Marino has a tendency to force the ball at times. Now, even though Dwight Collins, number 32, is well covered here by the hero back, number 17, Hamilton, he still throws that ball right in there. Now, fortunately, this time, Collins out-wrestles Hamilton and keeps the football. That is a fabulous catch, a great extra effort right there.
Collins last year caught 6, and today he's caught 5 for 70 yards. But he is the subject of that attention with 13:01 to play in the game, and the Lions on top by 9. Being assisted back over to the Pittsburgh bench, Barry Compton has come in to replace him as the Panthers have it first and 10 at the Penn State 28-yard line. 13:01 to go. Penn State leading 16-7. Thomas spinning. You saw the flag. Down he goes at the 30-yard line. It's Thomas's 25th carry of the day. He has rushed for 111 yards. See about the call. Holding Panthers. So the signal from referee Ray Bauer. The options are being discussed here with Ken Kelly. The play was a loss of 1. And they will take the penalty, which is a 10-yard march off to the 38-yard line.
Holding. Offense. First down.
So the option defensively for Penn State was that you want Pitt to have it second down and 9 or first and 20, and they opt for the latter.
Good opt.
Yeah, when you're getting down this deep, it is. First and 20. At the 38, and out of a double wing, it's Marino hitting Thomas at the 33-yard line. He's buried there. Paffenroth and Kelly for the stop, and he stayed in bounds, and the clock continues to run with 12:20 to go. And Collins has come back in. So Dwight was shaken up, but he's back in the lineup now, number 32 for Pittsburgh, and there he is.
Possession passing right now by Marino. As I said at the very top of the show, what's good about this guy is that he can pick you apart with the short stuff, but he also has the range to throw deep. At any time, the threat of the bomb is always there.
Second down and 12. And Thomas through the middle. Works his way down to the 23-yard line. Schefter and Robinson making the stop. And we've got a Lion shaken up. It is Paffenroth. Dave Paffenroth, the linebacker, number 33, who is in some agony at the moment. So they work on Paffenroth as the Panthers have moved it down to the 23-yard line. And it will be third down and 4 upcoming.
Third and 4, you think that possibly Marino might want to do some type of a rollout action to the wide side of the field and utilize a combination pattern between his two wide receivers.
Meanwhile, this could be a relatively significant loss for the Nittany Lions. Roger Jackson has not played since early in the second half, the defensive back. His spot was taken by Mike Cruhan, and now it appears anyway they will lose Paffenroth, at least for a few plays, hopefully only that. And Roger Puz comes in to replace him.
Well, he's moving pretty good. Although, well, looks like an ankle. Hard to speculate, though. You really can't. It's so hard to tell whether it's an ankle or a knee or a cramp or whatever.
But under his own power, he goes off, and now a big play coming up for the Panthers. Third down, a long 4 at the 23-yard line. Marino, quarterback draw, first down at the 13-yard line.
Good call.
Oh, beautiful. Had that middle open up. The sea parted. He went through.
This is an excellent call. Third and 4. You're thinking pass. You don't think of Marino as a runner, so the element of surprise is there. Takes 4 steps back, comes upfield, sees the yard marker, knows how far he has to go to get the first down, takes a dive, protects himself. There it is.
First down at the 14-yard line. They give it to Brian Thomas. He's looking for a spot to move through and has to settle for a gain of a couple. Robinson and Radisic making the tackle.
The BT Express. He's been good inside. He's been good outside. 743 yards coming into today's game with a 4.2 average. And he was the leading receiver on the team, as you pointed out.
Not as flashy as Warner, and a man that doesn't get a whole lot of publicity, but he's been quite functional today. He chews up 5, 6, 7 yards at a crack. Second down, 8. Ball at the 12. Flip it to Thomas, and he takes it to the 2-yard line for a first down. Kelly makes the tackle.
Just as we were saying, he can be effective as an inside runner, an outside runner, a good short man on the pass cuts. Use him on a lot of different types of player control, swings, circles, flats, checks, screens.
The first and goal, ball at the 3. So Penn State trying to hold the Panthers, who are trailing by 9, but have plenty of time. Collins in motion. And Thomas with a dive, but only for a couple of inches. Second down.
Motion followed by the tailback blast play, the power play off tackle. Now, the variation they use on that, we saw this on film yesterday, is that they'll start that man in motion toward the quarterback, and then he'll spin around and he'll go back, and then Marino will roll with the flow, and they'll flood a zone, and they'll try to throw the ball to the corner of the end zone. Let's see if they come with that play.
Second down. Goal to go at the 3. And Marino looping it for Collins, and a wrestling match, and a flag goes down, and they're still scrambling for the loose football. And let's see what the ruling is. Biondi was there. Biondi at 5'8", and Collins at 6'1".
Didn't look like Marino really got a grip on that ball. He was trying to just throw a fade route.
Got a personal foul against Penn State.
Let's watch. Collins alone, Biondi on the coverage. Now, the ball should have been thrown to the outside and to the corner of the end zone. He didn't really get a grip on the ball, and he throws it right up here into possible coverage. It looks momentarily like Collins is going to make another circus catch, and here comes number 32, Mark Robinson, and that is the late hit.
Half the distance to the goal line is one giant step, Simon says. Here's the call.
We had a completed pass, then we had a dead ball foul, a personal foul against the Blue. It is third down.
Telling it like it is. Watch here. I thought the pass was incomplete. No, he does catch the ball. But right here is the late hit by number 32, Mark Robinson.
So now it is third down and goal. Inside the 1, it's Collins in motion. And it's Brian Thomas, and he does not get in. He is stopped. It'll be fourth down. It's Radisick, number 97, among others.
Remember last year's Super Bowl where Hacksaw Reynolds came up and delivered that kiss? All right. How about that? How about that for an effort from the secondary? Not only the linebackers, but number 32 again, Mark Robinson. Radisick and Robinson both in there to deliver a terrific shot.
And now Fazio is sending in the field goal unit on fourth down inside the 1. His team is down by 9. They need a touchdown and a field goal, and he's going to opt for the 3 as Schubert's kick is good. Well, that's an interesting call. True, you need 9, but do you or do you not go for the touchdown when you're inside the 1 on fourth down? They settle for 3. We have 8:04 to go, and the Lions lead 16-10.
This is odd.
The 1, what about you?
All right, here's my thoughts on that, is that when you have the wind at your back and and you've got a quarterback like Dan Marino who can move the ball for you in a hurry, and you've gone down there and you haven't really done anything for 2 or 3 downs, I think it's a good idea to put something on the board.
Well, Schubert's kick goes through the end zone. I see what you're saying. I hear you, but to me, I'd rather come down to needing a field goal to win a ball game than a touchdown.
Yeah, but you got 8:04, and you got the wind at your back, and you got Dan Marino.
Well, we'll find out.
We'll see.
A little grist for the mill again.
Stay tuned.
First down for Penn State at their own 20-yard line. They're going into the wind in the 4th period. John Williams doesn't have any room. Joe Paterno, who has been so successful here, and yet that national championship has been so elusive.
11 straight bowl appearances.
Yeah.
Winningest percentage for a man with 10 years of experience. He has it all, everything but that one thing.
And they have come so close. Wasn't that many years ago. Went down, faced Alabama. Had they beaten the Tide, they would have won it. But Bama won the game 14-7. Second down and 9 from the 21. And on the reverse, this is Kenny Jackson trying to turn the corner, and that play didn't fool anybody. Turns into a loss of about 3. Tim Lewis making the stop, number 26.
Now that's kind of a strange call. A gadget play deep in your own territory when you're leading by 6 points. I like gadget plays, but not there.
Went out of bounds, and it stops the clock with 7:21 remaining. 3rd down and 13. In and out of the hands of Kevin Bow, number 11, at the 40-yard line.
Pass intended for Kevin Bow.
So it's the Pitt defense that does its job. Here's
Kevin Bow from left to right on a curl-in route. He gets in behind the linebacker. He's waving his hand for Blackledge to throw to him. Now watch this. The ball is thrown behind him. It is a catchable ball, however. Right there on the coverage is number 5, Tom Flynn, who, as Al Michaels told you at the top of the show, was only playing about 80% today. He's playing hurt.
John Camaro's kick is an excellent kick into the wind, a line drive, and they let it bounce. And down it at the 32-yard line. The Panther offensive unit taken over with 7:04 to go.
Sat down with Mom, talked to Dad. Can't get it together, makes you feel sad. You know you can do it, you wonder where. You want it soon because you really care. The services can help.
Pitt Panthers trailing 16-10. Start this drive from the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 with 7:04 remaining in the game. And Marino starts by giving it to Thomas, who takes it to the 40, 45, and rolled down at the 49-yard line. The tackle made by Ken Kelly, Mark Robinson.
Oh boy, this is really the definitive tailback play out of the I formation, the blast or the isolation play, whatever you want to call it. It really amounts to sort of a triple option for the tailback because he can go straight, he can go inside, or he can go outside. And that has been the most effective play today for the old BT Express.
And time is called, an official's timeout. Rob Fada, who is playing hurt, comes out. He's the right guard. This spot is taken by Paul Dunn, and they line Dunn up over on the left side, number 61. 1st down from the 48-yard line and into Penn State territory. BT, Brian Thomas, getting close to 8. Ofer made the tackle.
This is the kind of drive right here that the Panthers would like to have. They would like to divide time between the run and the pass and just pick away and systematically move down there and score and not leave Penn State time to retaliate. That would be a 17-10 finale. But they've got some ways to go.
On 2nd and 2, Marino, good protection. to Thomas again. Tackled at the 36-yard line. That's a first down. Roger Puzz, the man who replaced Dave Paffenroth. And by the way, they put a soft cast on Paffenroth and are taking him for x-rays. He went off on crutches.
Good spontaneous move that time by Marino as he did a little spin around. He looked to his left and came back to the right and found Thomas.
5:45 to go. First down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Thomas again. Steve Sefter making the tackle. Thomas has been the workhorse today. His worksheet shows 30 carries, 140 yards.
Impressive worksheet.
Second down and 7 at the 32-yard line. Thomas to the 30. So third down and 4.5 coming up. Sefter again in on the stop along with Radisic. So the clock still running. 4:53, 4:52 remaining in the game. Third down, 4.5.
Possible passing situation, possible draw situation. Now the last time, remember, on the same type of situation, Marino went to the quarterback draw. Remember?
Picked up the first down. This time he's looking to roll, stops, throws behind the intended receiver. That was Keith Williams, number 21. So now you've got fourth down, and the field goal unit is coming in again. Coach Fazio is sending in Schubert. The line of scrimmage is the 30. That means the spot will be at the 37. And you're talking about a 47-yard field goal attempt with the wind at his back. The wind has died down a little bit.
His longest this year is 48.
Daniels puts it down. The kick is long enough, but it is wide. Wide to the right. Schubert misses. Penn State will get it back. They'll take over at the 30. Paterno discussing strategy here with Blackledge with 4 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the game. Both teams have their full complements of timeouts remaining. Penn State leading 16-10.
This will be a key drive for the Lions right now. They would like to get at least 1 or 2 first downs.
Use that clock if they can. Start with Warner. And Warner takes it out past the 40 to the 43. So he gives him a first down as Wing Lukowski makes the tackle. Kurt picking up 13 yards, first and 10 at the 43-yard line.
North and south running. Not too much east and west with Kurt Warner. He knows where the end zone is. Good cutback that time.
Clock ticking. Exactly 4 minutes to play. 20 carries for Warner. 109 yards for Kurt. In this set, it is Williams. So setback. And he gets into Pitt territory. Breaks the tackle inside the 40. And they bump him out of bounds at the 32-yard line. John Williams, number 44, some question as to whether he could even continue earlier.
2 big running plays in a row for the Lions. First Warner to the right, now Williams to the left. 2 missed tackles there. Another missed tackle there by Tim Lewis, number 26. Here he is along the sidelines, finally forced out by Moss and Hill.
First down, Penn State at the Pittsburgh 32 with 3:45 remaining in the game. It is Blackledge to the 29-yard line on a broken play, Cutler, would you figure?
My initial thought was that it was a broken play, but it might be a planned play. It might be just a rollout, which the way he's doing it is a broken play. I would say that it was meant to be some type of a play-action pass with a rollout behind the tailback and the fullback.
it does no damage at all because they pick up 4 yards and they chew up a little bit more of the clock, which now shows 3:10 remaining in the game. Coles is in at fullback. That's Jackson going in motion on 2nd down and 6. And they give it to Kurt Warner through the middle. There's Kurt, and he's down to the 21, and that's another first down. Michael Brooks makes the stop, and now Pittsburgh is looking right in the face of having to take their timeouts on defense. If they can hold them even.
The emotional energy is building here in Happy Valley. We saw it like this 4 years ago. You and I covered this same game together in 1978. Similar, close, hard-hitting, low-scoring, typical Pitt Penn State football. Call this a backyard catfight.
First down, Penn State, with Jackson in motion at the 21-yard line. Williams to the 15-yard line for a gain of 6 as Wayne Blakowski makes the stop.
Oh boy, that's got to make your offensive coordinator happy when you control the football like that and on the ground.
And little doubt that you're looking at a national championship battle in the Sugar Bowl if things remain the same. Penn State leading here 16-10. They'll be meeting Georgia in New Orleans. Georgia 1 game remaining against Georgia Tech tomorrow to try to stay unbeaten in number 1. 2nd down and 3. That's Jackson, number 82, in motion. It is Kurt Warner slipping, moving, and getting down to the 12-yard line. Moss and Pizzoli making the tackle. 3rd down and a yard.
Easy to see why NFL scouts say that man, number 25, for certain will be a first-round pick.
The clock continues to run. 3rd and 1. The Lions with everything going their way. 1:20 remaining. From the 12. Coles is stopped. Coles is stopped at the 12-yard line. It'll be 4th down coming up. And will Pitt take a timeout on defense? And they do. They do. They'll stop it, trying to conserve some of the clock with 57 seconds remaining. So we'll see if Paterno wants to go for the 3 and try to ice it. With 4th and 1 upcoming, 57 seconds left.
Chevy trucks are taking charge. Of all the Ford, Dodge, and Chevy vans sold in America, one stands alone. Only Chevy van offers diesel power. Its V8 EPA mileage rating is 40% better than Ford's most efficient V8 gas-powered van. And Chevy has the jump on Ford and Dodge with a better engine-limited warranty. Chevy's new diesel van, from America's truck sales leader. Tough Chevy trucks are taking charge.
When a business grows, it often grows out of control. Simple procedures become gigantic problems. Things like billing, filing, and shipping become too big to handle the old way. Why not get one of IBM's low-cost small computers like DataMaster? It puts you back in control, and it can grow.
Here's to a great future.
As your business grows.
Pitt took the timeout on defense, and then Paterno talking things over on the sidelines, and now sends in the field goal unit to try to clinch it. Nick Ganzitano kicking into the wind, looking for his 4th field goal of the day. This one a 29-yard attempt. Snap is good. The kick is up by Ganzitano, and it is good. So Penn State just about ices it. A 9-point lead with 53 seconds to play.
That's surprising, Mr. Goodwin.
Line. And Foge Fazio, whose team has lost only to Notre Dame, is faced with an almost impossible task. 49 seconds remaining in the game, and they need a touchdown and a field goal.
This is when you go to your Hail Mary offense.
45 and stopped at the 50-yard line. That's a first down. As you can see, Pitt has 2 timeouts remaining. The clock is momentarily stopped for the first down at the 50-yard line. As soon as it's spotted and the ball is signaled ready for play, the clock will start again, and they'll work without a huddle. Clock in motion now. 38 seconds. Marino goes over the middle and nearly intercepted. Number 98, Ken Kelly, got the hand up.
8 men deep as Penn State goes into their prevent defense.
Marino 17 of 29 for 189 yards. Danny has not thrown a touchdown pass today. And that's something that's only happened twice in his last 32 starts, going back to his sophomore season. Marino forced to scramble, looking for Collins, and overshoots him. And it's third down and 10. 23 seconds remaining in the game.
Look what is happening. They're already tearing down the goalpost in this end zone.
And the crowd, and those are Penn State backers for the most part, tearing it down, but they're getting booed by the more civil amongst the 85,000. And that's a sight that obviously is not very pleasant for one Mr. Paterno, who would otherwise be in a rather exultant mood, or anticipating exultancy in just 23 seconds.
Well, in our area last week, we had a band come on the field a little prematurely.
I'm sure everybody around the country has seen that play in the Cal-Stanford game.
Most remarkable play in all the years I've been watching football. I've never seen anything to compare that. Kind of a definitive statement of Joe Cap football.
That's right. Cap had quite a year out there, 7-4. Joe was quoted as saying, "The bear just refused to die."
Bear would not die. That's right. Well, Joe, you know, was never an artistic success as a player, but he found a way to win.
Yep.
And his team was the same way this year.
Yep. Third down and 10. Marino hitting Thomas. He's out of bounds at the 46-yard line. You got a 4th and 6 coming up, and you have only 19 seconds remaining in the game. So Penn State will wind up the regular season 10-1. The only blemish was the loss to Alabama in a game that was very close, and in a game in which the key play was a punt by Ralph Giacomarro, which bounced off the backside of his own teammate. Led to an Alabama touchdown, and then the Tide scored again and one is going away. 4th and 6. And Marino throwing, and the tight end dropping the ball is Clint Wilson.
Roger Puzz, the man on the tackle.
And so Penn State will take over. And unless Pittsburgh wants to stop the clock, you've got one more play left in the game. 15 seconds remaining. The Nittany Lions heading for New Orleans. And that's what bowl officials pray for. A matchup between 1 and 2.
Cats and the dogs.
Yep, the cats and dogs, and it looks like they're going to get it in New Orleans. Let's see if Pitt takes a timeout. They will not. The crowd comes flying out onto the field, and even if they try to get this game restarted, they can't. That's it. Joe Paterno looking for Fazio. I don't know if he can find him in that mob at midfield, but the Nittany Lions of Penn State, who were down 7-3 at halftime, rebound, strong third quarter, and then their defense really does a number in the second half. And when you go back to the pregame and the graphic we showed you in terms of total defense, Pitt more impressive. Penn State had yielded a lot more per game, but the Nittany Lions somehow very resourceful defensively when they've had to be this season. The defense has really come on. They get 4 field goals from Ganzatano. Jackson scores the only touchdown. Kenny on a pass from Blackledge. And the Nittany Lions wind up the year with a mark of 10 wins, 1 loss. The Panthers head for the Cotton Bowl and a matchup there against Southern Methodist on New Year's Day. And they finish the regular season with a record of 9 wins and 2 losses. And there are our Chevy most valuable players. The 2 tailbacks had fine days. Brian Thomas, 143 yards on the ground, and Kurt Warner, 118, and on the season winds up going over 1,000 for the 2nd consecutive year. The goalposts are gone, and each man's name a $1,000 scholarship grant from Chevrolet to the respective universities. So in Happy Valley, they celebrate as the Penn State Nittany Lions defeat the Pittsburgh Panthers by a score of 19-10. We'll be right back. And 85,000 looked on. The Nittany Lions of Penn State ranked 2nd coming in, winning it. The final score was 19-10. Blackledge in the middle of the roaring throng as Penn State beats Pittsburgh. 41 victories in this series for the Lions, 38 for Pitt, and 3 contests have ended in ties. And we'll be back right after this word from your local stations.
Saturday hooker goes.
Penn State winning it. The final score was 19-10. Frustrating first half for Penn State. Able to move the ball. Pitt was able to move the ball. They scored only 7 points, however, led 7-3. And then in that third quarter, Penn State getting the touchdown pass to Kenny Jackson. Gansitano had 4 chances to collect 3 points, and he was equal to the task on each of those occasions. And thus Penn State wins it by a score of 19-10. And a summation from Lee Groscutt right now.
You know, back in 1949, when Joe Paterno was a quarterback for Brown, the late Stanley Woodward said about him, he said that, you know, the guy can't run, he can't pass. All he can do is win. I think it's the first time I ever heard that said about him. One was about Joe Paterno, and through the years, that's really proven out. They say that Joe Paterno on the sideline is worth points. And the years that I have been covering Pitt Penn State football, with the exception of one time, it seems to have always turned out that way. So I'd just like to acknowledge Joe Paterno and this fine Penn State team, and say as far as the Sugar Bowl, how sweet it is.
Well, he's very